No Eckler read this time?
No, not this time.
I thought we were gonna hit it again. What up? What up? What up, world? We are back. I'm Anthony, aka Rasta. This is Get Right Fantasy Network, and we're here for our Friday night mocks. How's everyone doing tonight? More importantly, I'm here with one of my favorite guys, and we have a special guest who's my new favorite guy, except for I just found out he's a Seahawks fan. So we have some things to work out. But what up, Classic Mike? How you doing, baby? What's going on?
Good.
I don't know why I called you baby. It just came out.
It's like a good day. It's Friday night. I'm, very happy to have our special guest here today. We have Donny from the Fantasy Whisperers. He's their producer and also a data analyst for over at PFF. Welcome, Donny. Always great to have you here.
Yeah, man. I'm super excited to be here. Let's end this Friday off right. Let's do this. I'm stoked. I need it.
Oh, and Flag joined. All right, cool. So we got
Flag. He's back.
He is back. He redeemed himself.
There it is.
So
welcome back, Archer.
I'm gonna randomize it up. Now he might get kicked. We'll have to wait. We just got to do a quick little thing here. Just got to double
Your boy
check
got
everything.
the 101.
Let's
go.
So Hopper got.
Oh, shit.
All right. So Hopper got.
Well, you're getting all that settled. I'm gonna have to do what we got to do to pay the bills around here. If you're not already, make sure you guys subscribe to Underdog Fantasy, or not subscribe, but sign up. If you're not signed up already, when you do, use that promo code GetRight, because when it happens, you get your deposit match up to $100. You can't beat that with the stick. So get out there, man. Get those Best Ball Mania drafts in there. They just launched the Puppy 2 $5 entry for a $150,000 first place prize. I think it's over $1 million prize pool going in on that. And then, of course, other drafts that they got in there, the Bulldog, the Puppy, they'll bring back the Pomeranians, all these things you guys can get in there and put all this mocking to a test, get in there, win some money. Of course, play responsibly. But again, underdogfantasy.com, use that promo code, get right. Who else? We're good? All right, perfect. So bring up the draft board. Let's get this thing started, what we're here for tonight. So just to let you guys know, we're doing this every Friday night. It's our Friday night mocks. Basically leading up to our mock draft tournament that's going to start on the 31st of July. So make sure you guys, if you're interested to get into that, it is free to join. And for a chance to win cash prizes, I'm also in the works of possibly talking to, some folks about getting a little sponsorship this year. So I saw that, Dustin. What's up, Dustin? He unsubbed because of the hat. It's all good. But yeah, man. So we want to get that going, man. I'm really excited for the mock draft tournament this year. It's our third year doing it. We run mocks Monday through Thursday. The top 3 drafters then go on to draft Friday night on our live streamed show. And then the top 3 drafters from each Friday for 4 consecutive Fridays will then draft in our mock draft tournament of champions, which is basically a best ball league. We're going to actually play that draft out, and the winner is going to win $50 cash minimum and then some other stuff. So, there it is. So make sure you guys are interested. Make sure you guys hit us up if you need any of that going. So what else are we doing here, man? I had the 101. I had to go with our boy Eckler, man. I had to do it.
Good, man. I like it.
And
I didn't even realize till right this minute, but that's Jeff right there at Gridiron Rankings. We had Jeff on the show last week. Nice.
Oh, what's up, Jeff?
Yeah, what up, Jeff?
Nice.
That's the Niner fan. Yeah.
That's right. Jeff's a Niner fan.
What's up, man?
Well. So we got Niner fans in the house trying to, at least it's not having Cowboy fans in here. So at least I'll take it. Well, except for our good friend.
I mean, you got dim boys in here right now.
I was going to say beyond our good friend.
You got Dustin. You got Dustin in here too, representing. There's always Cowboy Nation in here, unfortunately.
God, always. Yeah.
That's cool, man.
How about Flag rejoining and then getting Christian McCaffrey at the 5 spot?
Ooh,
I know, right? He went from not even being in the mock to then getting Christian McCaffrey.
Yep.
See, and Bijan went 3. He went 103.
Brocow. Shout out to Brocow.
Wow.
I don't know if I could take him that high, man. I still got to see a little bit of it. I got to see some of it. But we're in a weird spot with running backs right now, man. A lot of the top elite running backs are kind of aging out, so everyone's not quite sure. The new class that's come in, they kind of came in. There's a couple guys that are, they're starting to show their mark, but there's no like McCaffrey out there, right? That's like obviously what we're hoping Bijan is. So you're kind of buying that, you're buying the hype, getting him at the 103. But it could very well pay off. I mean, he could finish as a top 3, top 5 running back. Me personally, I think it's going to be a little more of a split than what everybody thinks. I don't think he's going to see like 80%, 90% of the work there. But since Mike and I get to say our same stuff here every Friday, that's why we like bringing on guests. I want to turn it over to Donny and let me get your thoughts on some Bijan here.
If any offense can do it, I think the Falcons can do it because I think they ran 95% of the snaps last year. If anyone watched them, like I worked a few games for PFF and I remember they were playing the Buccaneers and they were down the whole time, but they just kept running it.
Still running. Yeah.
I was like, throw the ball, please. Give Drake London some love, Kyle Pitts some love. But I think especially if Ritter can be even honestly average in that offense, I think Bijan has a exciting and pretty dominant season, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, all the measurables and all the things that they keep talking about keep saying that he will be that guy, but to be at the running back 2 overall, I just don't see it.
I like him mid to late first round, honestly. I would even take him mid, but I don't know if I would do 3rd overall.
We got Ethan in the house going, got to stop spelling it Eckler.
I do that all the time, though, Ethan. I'm right there with you, brother. I'm right there. I have both spellings in my predictive text.
Nice. We got good old Martin in the house. How's it going, guys? We got
what up, Martin?
Giving us his take on Bijan. So he says Bijan's ceiling is predicted on the passing work. 2 years ago, there were like 120 running back targets. Last year, about 60 running back targets. Same head coach and OC tandem. So, yeah, I get that. I definitely, even Jeff is saying that Bijan is RB1. So, I mean, it's just so hard for a rookie to be deemed as the 101. Like, I mean,
Christian McCaffrey came in and did it his rookie year and then went back to back, if I understand.
Did anyone have him that way coming out of college, though? Like, was
we all
he
say
the
no.
101 from a draft?
I mean, they were talking about it, if you remember back then, but I was so like, oh, he's too small. He's not your prototypical 3-down back. He's too small. He's not going to be able to run through the tackles. And we've seen him, I think his rookie year, I don't know the exact number, but I swear to God, it seemed like he was breaking 60-yard runs in between the tackles like all year long. I want to say he had at least 3 or 4. I kind of want to go back and check that out right now. But
when was he drafted?
He's 28 now. Yeah, so
was it 18
or no, 26. No, he's only 26. 17. I'm thinking of Eckler's 28.
He was either 17 or 16. I don't remember right off the top of my head.
The McCaffrey?
Yeah.
Yeah, what year was he drafted?
I'm looking right now for his
2017.
His stuff. Boom. It was 17. All right. So he finished as RB. He finished as an RB1 in full PPR at running back 10. So that's great. But I see something similar for Bijan. Like, he's not going to be the 1 overall. There is no way he gets the 1 overall. And
don't say no way, but
I mean, Christian McCaffrey that particular year as the RB10 had 80 receptions for 113. Am I reading that right? No, he had 113 targets on 80 receptions and 651 yards. If you think that that's going to be his particular numbers, then maybe, but I don't know. I don't see that.
Well, yeah, they still have Cordell Patterson too to throw to. So
well, not even Cordell. They have Tyler Algier, who did very well out of the backfield too. So I don't know. I can't see him being any higher than maybe I think his ceiling is probably, running back 5 overall, but that's fantastic. But, and look at this. I'm getting it from everywhere from Martin. That's fine. Don't worry.
It's hilarious.
I'm one to not really. I like Bijan. Don't get me wrong. I think he's a great pick, but for the 103 is just too much for me to pass. if this was Dynasty, then by all means take him at 103. But for me, Christian McCaffrey should be.
Oh, he's the RB1 in Dynasty, no question.
Yeah.
Is there any world where you're taking McCaffrey over Bijan in Dynasty? Yeah.
No, not in Dynasty.
I couldn't do it. Yeah.
I mean, Dynasty, it just makes the most sense because the running back expiration date is just huge.
What about Gibbs or McCaffrey in Dynasty?
That's a lot closer.
That's
to me.
More, yeah.
If I'm going to win now, obviously, I think I go McCaffrey. Yeah. So it would really depend on your build, but you're going to know that. You got to take McCaffrey earlier. That's a good question. I like that. That's
a solid, like, that line is perfect. Like, I might lean Gibbs just because of the youth, but we don't know what's going to happen in the next 2 years.
Yeah.
I mean, McCaffrey might be only 26. He's going to be 27 in like a day or two. I think isn't he 27 in like a couple days?
Like coming up here pretty soon. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Gurley's been retired for 18 years, and he's only 28 years old. So
yeah, and he's the only guy to go back to back RB1s besides CMC in a long time.
That's the other part of it. Like I mean, does he have an opportunity based on the statistics and history of RB1s repeating and stuff? Yeah, of course. But I think that overall the best person or I think guys like Jonathan Taylor, Josh Jacobs, Stevenson, Chubb, like those guys have an ability to possibly be the RB1 this year, just based on like past statistics and history. I forgot the stat. There's a certain stat that states like a certain age, touches, and yards that you would they basically took Eckler out of it last year and said that Saquon was going to be close to that for this or for last year. So I forgot the number. I got to look that one up for next time.
I want to see that. So let me.
You know what I'm talking about, right? There's a measurable for like.
Well, there's got to be. I mean, statistically, there's got to be enough data to
like the running back touch drop off or something like that. Is that what you're kind of saying? Yeah, I've heard that too.
Statistically, who's going to be the number one running back?
No, they can predict
on age.
Based on certain things, and its age is one of them. They have to be younger than 25, have more than 60% of the offense, and something else. There's like 3 general statistics because that's what made it so big for the one for I forgot who everyone was on. Oh, well, you were on McCaffrey last year.
And who was right? Who was right out of us?
You at least got him in the right area. I put him at running back 7, so yes, I failed, but still.
Thank you. That's all I needed to hear. Come on, people. We know who to listen to over here.
Well, I don't know if you should always listen to you, but yeah.
No. I was wrong on Josh Jacobs, so it's okay.
Oh, for sure. You were definitely wrong on Jacobs.
I hated Josh Jacobs and I hated Miles Sanders. I talked shit about them all offseason. I said nobody draft them.
No, I was on Sanders.
No, I was
buying that touchdown regression all day.
Yeah.
When someone has 0, that's like when you're at the casino, man, and you've seen it just come up red 13 times in a row. You for sure betting black. Yeah. Doesn't mean it's gonna be black, but you're betting black.
I was on top of Josh Jacobs. Like I wanted Josh Jacobs everywhere.
Nice. I wish I would have listened to you.
Yeah, well, but I was wrong about guys like Mike Gesicki. I was wrong about,
Of course, we all have those. I mean, my 2 running backs I told everyone to buy last year were ETN, which I think did pretty well for his draft position. And then my other one was Javonte Williams, which was maybe going to pan out because he got tons of targets at week 1 and then he got injured.
Oh, if he lasted the whole season, he was going to be – he definitely had the ability. I mean, he's someone, as much as I want him in like on my team, the only teams I'll take him in are Dynasty. And
I just traded for him in Dynasty actually
yesterday. Oh, yeah. I'm trying to buy all of the Williams I can get right now,
Yeah. I traded, I think, Lazard, Claypool, and Elijah Mitchell.
Oh, jeez. You got off easy.
Yeah. I was happy with it.
That's pretty good.
I want to know what league you're in. Jesus.
Let me get in that league when you got an opening.
All right.
Like
Except for that team. I don't want that team that just got
had 2 openings too. I just joined this league honestly last month, and then they.
Oh man, those are the funnest. All right, so I got to ask you guys. I'm sorry to interrupt, but
go ahead.
What do you guys prefer? Would you prefer to do a dynasty startup, or do you prefer the challenge of taking over an orphan team? Because honestly,
that's a good one.
I've done 2 dynasty startups, and I've taken over, I think, 2 or 3 orphans. And I honestly love the challenge of the orphan team a little more than knowing what to do in a dynasty startup, because there's so many options. Yeah. And like, so when you already kind of have your hand there and you just got to fix it, like I seem it's just a little better than kind of having a blank canvas and getting to do whatever you want and kind of screwing it up or whatever the case may be. But I don't know. I'll let you guys answer. Go ahead.
I've seen both ends of it, because I've gotten to have a dynasty startup that I didn't really like in the beginning, but then I am now in love with my salary cap league that I'm in, and I've built that thing up from the ground up. Now I've joined the dynasty league that I'm in with you now.
Get right, dynasty league. Yeah.
Yeah. And the thing is, in that league, I've had to change so many things because of the mistakes that were made to you, where you came in.
Hey, we're talking in generalities here, Classic. You don't need to single me out.
No. I'm singling you out.
You don't need to hear this.
Concept that you drafted a team that was mostly rookies and a mostly,
No, I didn't. You weren't there for the draft. I traded everything away for all 2023 picks. I had like 8 2023 first round picks, and then turned those into what you see, the masterpiece now. And the Mona Lisa I've put together now.
That he has is pretty potent. But the whole point is that I've been trying to work this team out, and it's growing the way that I wanted to for the most part. But there's a lot of things I'm just trying to compete. I don't want to have to seem odd, but no, definitely orphan. I think it's more fun. But it's only orphan teams that didn't sell everything away. And it has to be a certain combination of things to make me happy. Otherwise, I probably won't, touch it.
Yeah.
I
mean, if somebody gutted the team, yeah. Go ahead, Donnie.
The slight edge to me is Dynasty Startup. I love building my roster, but I think I might be a little biased because I've been a part of leagues where people don't trade.
No.
So I don't want to join an orphan team if nobody's trading, because you're never going to fix the roster. But this one I joined, I've traded a couple trades already, and I might even trade Herbert away. It's a 1 quarterback league. I'm trying to get CD over to my team. So we're seeing what's happening. I like both though. I'm definitely into both.
Nice.
Yeah. I think I'd lean orphan a little more than startup, but I like startup because you have the ability to grow it on your own comparatively to, changing what was already there. Like I ended up having, when I get this orphan, I had Kyle Murray and Trey Lance, 2 guys I would never have on my team. And now I have to change things around and move it to what I want, as my build. And, so yeah, it's nice, but I think I'm still,
Donnie, you took one of the guys I was going to double take right here. I was going to grab Watson and London there.
Dang,
on the turn. No, don't be sorry. Don't be sorry. So now I got. He's like, don't worry, I'm not. Speaking of which, while I'm making this pick, tell me what you like about London.
Oh man, I mean, we saw flashes of it last year, right? With Mariota as quarterback, and I'm pretty high on, a little higher on Ritter. I liked his ability coming out. I thought he was going to be a high 2nd round pick or late 1st round pick when he came out, and I think if he just starts slinging it, and that catch radius is fantastic. I think this offense is going to be a little better than people think. So I want pieces of this offense. I want the 3 pieces of this offense. I would take Bijan, Pitts, and London, all 3 at their values right now, except for Bijan right here at pick 3. I don't know if I'd go that high, but I'm excited for those 3 pieces of fantasy this year.
Nice. What are your thoughts on Watson, who I just grabbed? I like the talent. My whole goal this year is I'm trying to attach my receivers to good quarterback play this year. Yes. But to me, Watson is like that one guy that just athletically, I think he's one of those quarterback proof type receivers once he gets it going. And I'm really buying these 2nd and 3rd year receivers this year.
Do you remember how slow he started last year too? And everyone's like, sell Watson. He's
so
get rid of him. And then he blew up and everyone's like, no, give me him back. Like, please.
You couldn't buy him if you tried now.
So he has that talent for sure. I don't really believe in Love. I mean, I had a higher grade on Ritter than I did Love coming out of college for both those guys. So it wouldn't surprise me either way, but I'm gonna vote not picking up Watson as much this year for me personally.
Yeah, I'm in that boat too. I just can't. There's nothing like I understand what he did last year, and he was very effective. I had no problem with what he did. I mean, honestly, good for him. No one's really done it like that where he was getting 2 touchdowns basically a game.
Oh my God, every game.
But at the end of the day,
that doesn't happen every year. Come on.
No, and you have it with Aaron Rodgers. Now you're doing it with Love, who I don't feel comfortable with. Like I don't see him doing anything better. We've seen him play a little bit. I'm not impressed. So
yeah, we'll see. I mean, who knows? I mean, Favre played the certain amount of years with them and then went to the Jets, and then Aaron Rodgers played the same amount of years and went to the Jets. It's just going to keep happening, and then Love's going to be just as good as those two, and every time it's just going to continue.
And then he'll go to the Jets too, right?
He'll go to the Jets, and then freaking I don't know who will be there by then, but
yeah,
Jerry Rice's grandson.
I had a friend go, can someone give me a jersey for Love on the Jets in 2032?
Yeah, exactly. I like that. I'll take that bet.
Yeah. We got drunk going. Wan'Dale Robinson for cheap. Thoughts on Wan'Dale, Mike? Got him for the 309 in a rookie draft. Honestly, that's really good. Like I follow Alex, peaked in high school. He has a really good chart for those that follow him on Twitter or those who need to follow somebody. He's one to follow. And he has a huge chart that shows you what draft values are for certain players. It's just a really good blueprint. And he has him listed at 210, I think, for Wan'Dale. So honestly, that's really good value if you're getting him at 309. They said he's going to be ready week 1. I'm a little surprised by that. I thought he'd be a little bit later, but it is what it is. We got Chris. What up, Chris? Chris was with us last week. Welcome.
Yo, we got both the guys in the chat that were on last night. Appreciate the support, fellas.
Love to see it. Sir. I was just going to join, add on to your talk about Wan'Dale. I was going to say, hell yeah, that's great value, 309. Oh yeah. Then I just looked at my rookie draft, and the person who went 309, I'm actually really high on, which is Tank Dell. And I think I'd rather have Tank Dell in that specific spot compared to those two. But otherwise, 309, Wan'Dale, yes, I think that's fantastic.
Oh, I'm extremely mad at them boys right now. Just
them boys is just copying me. He's trolling me from the other side of the mock.
Yeah, he is.
I was about to say something about it, but he knows what he's doing. He's messing with me. I'm trying not to let him get in my head right now. Yeah, we're going with the same build. How can we have the same build?
Well, you guys always have the same.
Yeah. Gosh, like we hang out too much. Did you get Martin's thing here when I was talking about him saying he seconds that about my
no, I didn't get
about those trades? So so shout out to Martin, and I think we mentioned it earlier, but make sure you guys go look up and follow or subscribe to the Dynasty Pylon, man. Good stuff over there. They focus on IDP and all that. It's in the description, so make sure you guys support them. But yeah, man, love talking to this guy about different trades, and it's hard because especially now with you, Mike, in the league. Yeah. I can't call you and talk about this stuff. Anymore. And everybody else I go to, they're all in the league. So, I have to reach for some outside sources and sounding boards. And Martin's always there, man. I could text him and hit him up. And he's always down to get in a fantasy conversation with me. So I appreciate that, man. Again, make sure you guys go subscribe to the Dynasty Pylon. Other than that, he said it's not all. It is about me, dim boys. That's where we're at. It is about me. That's the problem. It is about me.
Mentality right there.
And I wouldn't have it any other way. Oh man.
We got Ethan Epstein going. Somehow I flipped Mariota early last season for Christian Watson and a third fleeced. Holy hell. You're lucky.
If that's one QB, I really like it.
Even if it's not.
Even if it's like 18 QB.
Oh, yeah. Actually, I don't know why I saw Mariota, but I'm thinking Ritter.
Okay, there you go.
All right. In that case, yeah, that's a highway robbery.
Oh, that is highway robbery. I think that is. Hey, we all know how I felt about Mariota last season. I was not high on him in any shape, way, or form. Mm-hmm. Everyone was like, "Oh, Delaney Walker." No, they all use. Well, they use the running and all that, and I'm like, okay, here's the thing, guys. And they kept trying to like make Pitts a thing, and I still don't believe in Pitts, even with Ritter there. I don't see it. I get it. I understand why people think so. It kind of draws me away from London, even though I understand his up progression and everything because they use them so often. But I can't see Kyle Pitts doing anything well with a sophomore quarterback that did very little in his last 4 games, that didn't show me anything. Granted, I understand that Pitts was hurt and out and everything, so there was really no point. But okay, first off, drunk, I am sorry. Delaney Walker was not a one-hit wonder. He was there for quite a while. He was
the shit when he was with the Niners.
No, he was the shit with the Niners.
I know, but I'm just saying. He left on us there. But we did get George Kittle after that, so I'll take it.
Well, yeah, George
wasn't
Kittle
too bad.
Probably one of your best pickups.
I thought Walker was going to be our next guy right after Vernon Davis, because we've always had that tight end,
Oh yeah.
And yeah, so that was a little tough.
Coming from a team that's never really had a tight end since Pavaro, so.
Oh, there you go. Hopefully you guys got one now.
Well, yeah.
Just Dynasty Pylon, he said 8 more away from the next jersey. They give out their jersey. I believe they're doing it for their 300 subs. Oh, so nice. We just need 8 more people. There's 8 people on the stream. If you're not already, and that, I guess maybe I shouldn't have said there's only 8 watching right now, but we'll get our views going right now. But you guys get in there, man, and go hit that subscribe button so they can give away that jersey. It's all good. I'm just saying.
See it on the stream anyway. They can
okay. Oh, that's right. They're watching. Oh, that's all right. That's all right. For those that weren't looking in that section,
there are 18,000 people watching right now.
Yeah, 18,000 right now. That's going to be amazing. I can't wait to hopefully get there one day, man. That'd be amazing.
That would be amazing.
I'd be scared. I'd be like, pick this guy.
I'd be scared. Yes. Oh no, I want them to get another jersey out. I'll work on something, Martin. I'll work on it.
Absolutely. Make sure you guys go hit those subs right now, man. Anyone who goes and subs, let me do this. Anyone, when you're watching this, whether it's live right now or later, you go sub to the Dynasty Pylon, send me a screenshot at Rastafaran on either Twitter or Sleeper, and I'll get you an entry to our listener league.
Ooh.
Not like in the league, but for the drawing, for listener league drawing. And you can earn multiple entries to increase your chances. So this is how we help out our friends. Make sure you guys go give them a sub on YouTube. Link's right there. Have it on the screen. It's in the chat. Send me that screenshot, and we'll get you an entry into the Listener League drawing.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
You're not wrong, brother. That guy looked ripped. Bellinger looked ripped.
Oh, my God. Yeah, I just saw that picture.
Anyone see it?
And that's why I said, I was like, you guys might have one now. That's what I'm saying, dude. Mike, you and I were both on.
Waller. Okay.
Why would I talk? I hate Waller. Come on now. And I don't mean hate. Waller, Darren Waller, if you're watching this, Darren Waller, if you're watching this now that we have, actual athletes watching our show now, shout out to Austin Eckler and the Eckler Foundation. Make sure you guys go support the guy there. I don't hate him. Just he was on the Raiders, and because of the hat, there was
I'm just giving you shit.
No, I know, but I'm just saying we don't put hate out here. I just meant in the fun of the game as a fan. But now that he's there with the Giants, hey, it's no big deal.
Hey man, I've always been a fan of Darren Waller in general.
He's a beast. Yeah, he's a beast. That's why you hate him even more.
Well, no, I like him. You're on the clock, Ross. You're gonna.
Oh, snap!
5 seconds. Yeah,
it's all good. I already had it queued anyway.
All right.
I can't believe you guys let that guy.
I'm
fall
really
to me
shocked
right
that
there.
Herbert fell all the way down that way.
That's what I'm saying. Herbert in the 6th, but this is where remember we were getting Jalen Hurts in mid-6th round last year. Boy, has he fallen. He still has that 5,000 yard potential. Like, people are sleeping. Speaking of which, if you can go buy him in a super flex league right now, I'd try to buy that dip with Herbert. So
I thought about getting Burrow at the Burrow or Allen at the 402. I wanted to wait and see what I can get.
And this is why I didn't take McLaurin on the 3-4 turn, so I can come down here in the 7th and grab me some Jahan Dotson.
I like that pick.
That's why.
Well, it was between Dotson and Evans for me, and Evans is the better talent. Unfortunately, I just don't trust, But if I had
Sam Howell?
No, well, that was my point. It's either Sam Howell or Mike or Baker Mayfield, and I really, really, really like Sam Howell a lot. I'm on the Dotson and Terry McLaurin doing well this year. I have this weird feeling. I've watched a few tapes of him at training camp, and he looks good. He just something special about the kid. I think he'll do well.
I mean,
nice.
Good. The summer before his senior or his final season in college, people saying that he was going to be 101.
Yeah.
And then he had a good senior season, but not as accurate throwing the ball, but he ran a ton more. Mm-hmm. And then he fell to the third round? Was he
something like that?
Yeah. So people just forgot about him, and he's always been, pretty good athlete and a pretty good thrower of the ball. So it wouldn't surprise me if he. It wouldn't surprise me if he takes you guys to the playoffs, and it wouldn't surprise me if Caleb Williams is quarterback next year. Is the range I'm going with? But I actually really like
all those things can happen.
I hope he does well for you guys, and he's going to be a dual threat too. I think.
I just want him. I've been trying to grab him in a Superflex in our Dynasty League and no takers, but at the same time, he's somebody that I really think could have a bright future moving forward. He seems to have all the tools there, and they're building around him. They brought in Bellamy, who we'll see how that works out.
He should be the head coach there, honestly.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. But Rivera is Rivera. The guy's a legend. The guy,
yeah,
he's Riverboat Ron.
Yeah. So it's it's one of those things where I feel like they have a lot of pieces working in their favor, and he's one of them. And I think he's just been a hidden talent waiting on the bench. They got rid of Heineke. All these different things kind of fell into place, and they didn't pick anybody up really. I don't think they picked up anyone crazy in the draft for QB, or I don't even think they picked up anyone in free agency either. So, I think he has a lot of potential, and Dotson is a really good receiver in his sophomore year coming up. So it's only good things. That's all I can say.
All right, I'm going to cut you off then there and say Wilson subscribed to the Dynasty Pylon.
What?
So our ambassador extraordinaire, I don't know how he wasn't already subscribed.
That was just
maybe he's just saying he did subscribe, but Wilson, he's our ambassador.
He's trying to help.
Quasi ambassador for the Dynasty Pylon as well. Who congratulations, won the logo challenge on Twitter over us in the finale. So congratulations to you guys. I might have to update my logo there. And then Dimboy says, get an entry to the listener league and you too can lose to a 10-year-old. So believe it or not, that's exactly what happened in the listener league last year.
Yeah.
And the worst part about it was actually Dimboys versus Dimboys Jr.
Yeah.
It was a father-son championship and the 10-year-old won.
That's awesome.
And there was actually one point of this year where Mike was in first place and was playing against Dimboys Jr. and actually allowed him to set his lineup, like in the league. So
I had him.
He did beat himself,
I beat him.
And he beat him. Well, he beat himself. You didn't beat him. He beat himself, and then he just came back and beat all of us. So he literally beat everybody, including himself, in that league. So congratulations, Dimboys Jr. We're gonna get him on a stream here soon. Summer's coming up. We got school and stuff like that. But once we hit summer, we're gonna get him on the stream, and we'll go through the year and we'll ask him some questions, do a little interview, and see what his the mindset of a 10-year-old coming out, beating all these analysts and fantasy degenerates,
Thanks,
and just whooped us, man. So shout out to Dimboys Jr., man. I got to talk to the kid, man. He's a good kid. He knows his stuff, man. Does his research, so
good.
I like it.
But thank you, everybody in the mock, for letting Dalvin Cook fall all the way to the 7th round for me.
No one's picking him, dude. Ain't no one picking him, Mike. That's your guy. You can get him in the 4th. You can get him in the 13th, or he'll go undrafted. If you're not in a draft, the only time he gets drafted is when I'm in a draft with you, Classic.
Yeah, as you should. I think you should be picking him up.
No way. Not at all. So he didn't get cut on the. It's a good time to talk about it, I guess. He didn't get cut on the 1st, which we were all kind of expecting, right?
Aha.
So, and then they come out with the report. Like, did it come out yesterday? Did that come out today?
No, it came out 2 days ago about Madison being
a 3-down back. Yeah. So it's like, I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on over there. Where there's smoke, there's fire.
Trade him for like a 5th-round pick, something like that.
Yeah.
Brother.
They're gonna try to get something for him. If they can't get something for him, they're gonna release him. When they release him, they're gonna, it will still be Madison there. But then where does he go? And then it's trying to figure out where he goes, and he wants to play in either Miami or he wants to play in Buffalo with his brother. Hey,
that's cool.
I'm good with all 3 options. It won't work for the team I have currently, but from what I have, he's in Minnesota. He was what did he finish last season? Running back 11.
RB 11.
So I get the RB 11 in the 7th round. Cool, thanks.
It's gonna be a whole different situation. Classic.
Yeah. Well,
come on, you're smarter than that. You're smarter than that.
And Madsen went at the 705. So
as he should, as a 3-down back. That's a deal.
But that's even
you see how that works, Classic.
Hey, Madison went there. I would have had him. All I'm saying is I have I don't care. You guys can berate.
Give me my guy here, guys. Give me who's gonna grab my guy?
I am.
I think so. I shouldn't have said that because I was like, we know we're both looking at it and you're like, that's the guy right there. And he ain't making it to me. Damn it.
You're gonna be gone by the time you get there. And if
it's not Addison,
then it's Samaje Perine, and he will be gone as well.
Who are these people you're drafting, Classic?
I don't know. Those are the only 2 that I can think of for you.
Nah, Perine's a good. I love Perine in my hero RB builds. He's one of those guys that you can just get later, and will get you at least started. Hopefully in the beginning of the year if Javonte doesn't get there. So, Oh, see, them boys know too. He said I almost drafted him too, Anthony. If you guys look at my roster, you know who's coming on my roster next. You guys know.
Well, it's a running back.
Oh, Classic, you and I couldn't be so far off, man.
Well, if it's a tight end, then it's
B-Rob, Mike.
Oh, okay.
Of course it's B-Rob.
You and B-Rob. I don't get
it. That's exactly who was in my queue. No lie.
Oh. It's not him.
I don't know about that.
But yeah, we'll take him. We'll take him.
I like the running backs in Washington, so I know one of them is going to do really well.
Right.
See, that's the thing. I think Sam Howell will do good, but I don't know how I feel about guys like Antonio Gibson.
I mean,
I think you can. Go ahead.
Bieniemy gets it out of his running back, so whichever one they choose, either him or Gibson, I think it's going to be a great season. Okay. And there goes Gibson. Damn it!
Ooh, all that Gibby talk. Wow, he went before.
No, Robinson went.
They went right after.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. RJ grabbed him. Oh, I see. See, because we were talking. Oh no! Just don't take my guy. Just don't take my guy, Donnie. Oh, just don't do it. Don't do it to me. I can't take it.
Do it. Do it.
Well, since he didn't instant take him already, I feel a little more positive that it's not going to happen. But now he might just try to grab the guy he's thinking.
No, I'm just trying to decide what my roster needs. I've got 2 injured running backs.
Yeah, 2 torn ACLs.
Yeah, 2 torn ACLs.
So I'm going to take another injury-prone running back.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah,
Rashad Penny.
Yep.
There it is. There it is.
I think he's more talent than Swift, honestly. So
there you go. My guy was Quentin Johnson right there that I wanted to take to get the stack.
My team, I was like Herbert.
Quentin. Yeah, exactly. So I want that Herbert stack with my QB 5 or my wide receiver 5 there. So that's nice. And I do need to take another running back here. I kind of like Damian Harris. I don't feel like I need to reach for him quite yet. But I think I might take a stab at Khalil Herbert here. Kind of liking him. What are your thoughts on Khalil Herbert, Donnie? What do you think about that pick?
I have never been a fan, but it bit me in the ass when he's caught fire. So
right.
I'm going to say I can neither confirm nor deny that I like him or I don't like him.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I don't mind him this year. I mean, he's definitely the more – I think he can be – I think they're going to be rotating all 3 of them. They're all kind of eat each other a little bit. But I think that their production overall is going to be pretty high. I mean, I think they're all going to be close to the 800s. And, you know, they definitely will use – What?
Oh, sorry. I was just reading the
Yep.
Ethan's comment there. I was still
that.
in my I was on my draft board there. Yeah.
But
man, that's hilarious.
I do think that they have the ability. Like, I think everyone could get a good 800 yards rushing, and everyone getting at least 8 touchdowns each or something like that. Like the roster that they have currently with Devontae Foreman and with Herbert and Johnson, they all have the ability to do that. They're all pretty much the same back, so they can just run that, like just keep rotating them in and out, and just everyone can do well. So honestly, I think that Khalil Herbert is a really good zero RB guy if you're looking for one. I know that you went like a hero type build, but
I went running back hard. Did you see my build today?
No, I seen it.
I'm locked in. Like, I don't need running backs ever. I got to switch it up, man. I got to show people the different builds and show that I'm flexible, and I'm not just going to draft the same team every week.
I just like certain players.
Like I said, you get Dalvin Cook no matter where you are. You could be in the 6th spot, the 2 spot. You're still getting Dalvin Cook.
Okay, so it was either picking Dalvin Cook or James Cook at that point, and I don't like Brian Robinson. I'm not a big fan of Gibson. I don't like Penny. And then everyone else I would rather get in the 9th round, but I know he won't get there. So it's one of those things where I'm not reaching for a running back, and he was there, and he would normally go in the 5th, 6th round. If he's on a team, so okay, I'll do this. If he's on the Buffalo Bills come the season, where are you drafting him?
Higher than that.
Not really. They don't use their running backs there, man. We guys forget. Josh Allen's RB1 over there.
I don't know, man. Cook's exciting to watch.
Give me a real answer. Where would you draft Dalvin Cook if he was on the Buffalo Bills as of the first week of the season?
A 27, 28-year-old who couldn't even stay on the team that he's been the top 5 back for.
Looking at this draft board, round 6. Early round 6.
So just one extra round.
Yeah. I mean, I'd probably take him before Javonte just because I'm off the hurt guys. And again, no shot at you, Donnie.
Yeah.
Probably before Swift or Pierce too. So, and definitely before Connor. So I think it would be like after Gibbs. So what running back is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
You wouldn't take him in like the 4th, 5th round?
Oh, I went the wrong way. 16, 17, 18.
I mean, I could see myself.
So I'd take him as RB19. I'd have him at RB19 because I think I still like Dobbins. I like Sanders, Walker. Not Mixon because I feel like Cook and Mixon are basically the same guy right now to me, just because of the uncertainty. We don't know who or what's going on there.
I mean, my favorite.
Technically, you could throw Kamara there too. So
my favorite running backs to watch play the game, like I'm like, wow, they're good at football, is Cook and Chubb.
Yeah,
like the last 3 years, they're like eye talent. Like they look at a game, they're good, and so it wouldn't surprise me if Cook goes to a different team and is an RB1 again. But he's at that age. We talked about it with that when's that fall off?
Right.
No, you're right. I don't know. I just have a feeling. It's just a feeling. I don't know. I like him a lot. Yeah, I'm just hooked on a feeling.
There it is. Hold on, I'm going to tell just real quick. Martin says, don't forget to like the video, guys,
I saw that,
and subscribe if you're not subscribed to these guys. He means us here at Get Right Fantasy Network. And check out the description below for the links. So more announcements to get in the mocks, our mock tournament, everything we got going on. Of course, Underdog, fantasy.com, promo code GetRight, as well as your trophy smack. And also use that promo code GetRight and get that championship feeling with those rings, the belts. Make sure you do it again. Links are in the description. Order them now so they're ready by the end of the year. Promo code GetRight. Also, while we're at it here too, why don't we take a moment to shout out the other folks here on Get Right Fantasy Network. So who do we have queued up first? Mike Classic, you got it?
Yeah.
The Checkdown Podcast.
Yeah.
With Cody McGoats, Shirtless Pat, and the fellas. Make sure you check them out. They're usually on what? Wednesdays. Once the season kind of starts up here a little soon, coming up here soon. Damn you fucking dim boys for taking Bateman. Ooh, that's an F word too. Gosh, I was hoping he made it back to me. I should have took him instead of Herbert. I knew it, and then I could have just been done with the receiver. All right. Anyway, sorry I ruined your promo there.
I'm hurting with that Chigo pick, by the way, Mike.
Yeah, right.
Really
got him with the Chig.
Yep.
Dang. See, WAGMI Fantasy, man. Make sure you guys check out Colin. Check out that newsletter. It comes out every week. The Winning with WAGMI newsletter. So make sure you guys check them out. Again, links are in the description. And our boys over at the Fantasy Frontline podcast. You got Tim and AJ there holding it down. Yes, Tim's bringing you all the Dynasty content. Right now, Dynasty season is upon us as we're kind of starting to ease into redraft here. But he brings you all that Dynasty content.
And check him out on Twitter, man.
And his Twitter's on fire too. Yeah. So, and then of course our newest addition here this year to Get Right Fantasy Network, our one and only Dim Boys, aka Adam J, with the Deadzone Fantasy Show, man. So check him out. Get his show queued up. He hasn't dropped his first episode yet, but it will be coming. And basically, he's going to be focusing on the redraft Deadzone. Those Deadzone guys in there, really getting deep into the analytics side of things here at Get Right. So again, go check him out. Hit that sub. It's all in the description. So a lot of stuff just happened in those last couple. It's getting nitty gritty here. So there's certain guys people like, and this is where you win championships, man. In these rounds right here. So when everyone else is throttling down, this is where you got to dig in deep and really make sure you're not wasting these picks here in these mid later evening rounds, I guess you would say, as we're kind of coming down the home stretch here of the mock. So, that Bateman pick got me good. He said, yeah, that was the first one in a while that I've dropped on here. So that tells you.
I
take everything serious, man.
I like his take with Penny. So he says Penny will play 3 games, Swift will play half the season, and the Eagles will be down to Gainwell at the very end. Honestly, that is probably the script that will probably happen. You
heard it here first.
Yeah,
right?
and Martin agrees with it too. Like I really honestly I think that could happen. Gainwell is definitely a guy that I like as like a late round guy. Shit, that's why I haven't even dropped.
Oh, he's going undrafted.
Yeah. Well, I haven't even dropped in our Dynasty League. I didn't drop Boston Scott yet because I'm like, why not? He signed a 2-year contract. I mean, why not?
Well, he's good for 2 games a year against the Giants.
Well, yeah, definitely against the Giants.
That's for sure.
Play him against the Giants.
Always.
I won't be going to my dad's house, but I will be.
DFS play right there all day.
Hey, yeah, I'd definitely play him in like parlays or something like that when you're like betting on FanDuel or something. Like always put the touchdown versus the Giants. Always. Ooh, see, I have to go here and I have to ask you, Donnie.
Let's talk about it.
So
I love it.
Okay. Honestly, 1, 2, 3, 4.
You're gonna get him going on these tight ends again. So wake me up when you guys are done. You opened up Pandora's box, Donnie. Here we go. Buckle in.
You draft.
I'm just messing with you, classic. Go ahead.
No, I know you drafted Kincaid, tight end 13, and honestly, that's great value. But do you see it as him being your only tight end? Are you do you feel comfortable with that?
If this was a real draft, I probably would get another tight end from the last pick.
Okay.
Just to balance it out. But man, after the draft, after that first round, when Kincaid went to the Bills, I was like, he could not have gone to a better spot. They need a true number 2 target, in my opinion. They don't have it on that roster. And I think right away he could be thrown into that role and be a number 2 target for Josh Allen this season. And having a number 2 target on the Bills, yes, please. I'll take a chance on that. Being what tight end was it? How many down the line?
13. Yeah.
13. Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take that bet on tight end 13.
No, that's fine.
Sure.
For me, out of the rookies, as much I do like Kincaid. I think he does have an ability there. I do think that he'll blend well with Dawson Knox. Honestly, I think they're going to use a lot more 2 tight end sets. Just because, like you said, there's no real true number 2. Gabe, we thought was going to be that guy. Unfortunately, he didn't really pan out the way we all wanted him to. Yes, he still has his explosion games, which makes him somewhat viable. But at the end of the day, he's somebody that he's just not there yet. He's still in that wide receiver 3 conversation. You know, we could definitely go down that route, but Kincaid has definitely the tools to be that guy. My favorite guy you can get much later at a cheaper price, even though, as Ethan says, I mean, you can just stream tight ends. Who cares if it's the tight end 7 to 14? It doesn't really matter. They all score the same. And he's right. But, you know, if I can avoid streaming as much as possible, like I understand that to not stream, you need guys like Hawk and, you know, everybody above him, and probably even Goddard, I'd say, above him. But at the end of the day, I like guys. I like Sam Laporta more than anybody in the rookie class.
Great spot too.
He went to a really good team with a good situation with a coach that, you know, I know he's a tight ends coach from years ago and he played tight end and all that. But at the end of the day, Laporta there's something about him that, and I understand the comparisons to Kittle and all that stuff. I get it, but I'm not trying to compare him to Kittle. He just has that something about him after he catches the ball. He didn't play a lot in college. He didn't have a lot going on. He didn't get tons of catches, but the guy can still block and be out on the field. He can still do everything that he needs to do for a tight end. And I really do think he's going to have a really good season.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be completely honest. For as long as I can remember, I go crazy for the draft and I analyze every position, as many people as I can. I do an Excel sheet for every position and
That's awesome.
My top 150. And I had Kincaid as my 3rd tight end.
Interesting.
So I just think the spot he went to, and I liked 4 tight ends as first-round talents, and Laporta wasn't one of those 4. But now after the draft, Kincaid's my 1 and Laporta's my 2 because of the spots they went to. And my number one was Darnell Washington, and now he's off the list because
he went
me, and I didn't know about that, and he went to the Steelers. Like, no. And then my number 2 tight end draft process was Musgrave, who could be in an okay spot. Honestly, he's already getting first team reps, and it'll depend on Love, honestly. But I do love Laporta a lot. I got him in the Dynasty League recently, and I'm very excited about it.
What about Mayer?
Las Vegas, yeah.
He was the 4th tight end.
He was 4
I
on
could
you?
see one in the first round. I still had him as a first round talent, but he excited me the least amount out of those 4. Out of those 5, honestly.
No, that's fair.
I'm just gonna say, Ethan, I agree with you, man. I'm just great or late, and if it's late, wait, did you just take that off the screen? Was that me?
Yeah, he already put it up. I put it up
we
like
did?
an hour ago. Yeah.
Oh, well, I didn't. Like I said, I tuned out when you guys started talking tight ends, man. I did say wake me up when you guys were done, right? But no, I'm definitely more on the greater late for tight end. Like you said, I mean, you could have said it any better. You know, we've talked about it for years. The difference between, you know, tight end 4 through tight end 36 is like 3 fantasy points per game. Yeah. I think it's more like 6 in all reality, of course, being a little sarcastic, but to me, it's not worth even dedicating that early of a you know, position to, and you just kind of grab one that you feel semi-decent with, and basically just kind of play the stream game, unless you have Kelsey or Andrews, and last year it was just Kelsey, so you know, and it's such a positional advantage. And then you got someone like, you know, Jeezy, shout out to Jeezy, going crazy playing bully tight end over here. I was wondering why Chig's going in the 10th round. It's because we have one team that has 3 tight ends. So unless you get in a situation like that, he'll be trying to trade some of that off, obviously. But you know, we got 2 flex spots, so he could get one guy in there and
flex league. He's playing
exactly. So he's going 12 personnel. So I like it. Shout out to Jeezy. You guys have seen him on here with us every once in a while too. So he'll get on the stream, and we're working on him getting a show here on Get Right soon too. So more to come. We're growing, fellas. We're growing.
Yes,
and he says, the general tight end is upside shot who could feasibly be top 2 in targets on the team. Mid rounds usually fail to meet one or even both of those. So well said.
No, it's true. I mean, I've just always, for some reason, I've always coveted the tight end spot a little more with like the later round guys, and I always tend to find that one talent like Ingram or something like that pretty much you could stream, but then has like just a season to remember. and just always does something. So I that's why I always try to find those particular guys in those mid rounds, like that, 8th to the very end, to be honest. Like, I mean, Ingram wasn't even drafted last year, and he was tight end 5, I think, at the end of the season. I honestly, I was looking for Ingram at the Cook pick, and I took Cook over Ingram, thinking that I could maybe get him back on the way back. And I'm like, oh, maybe he'll make it all the way back to like the 9th round, but he didn't go that far. So,
see all that tight end talk? You got guys taking 2 tight ends now, 3 tight ends.
Yeah.
What is this show turning into?
Ooh. Well, no, they're trying to make their teams look real good for us when when they do it.
For the grades, right? There it is.
Great, yeah.
They're grabbing the people. They're learning.
Hey,
that's funny.
There's a whole bunch of guys that I like over some other guys, but like I said, like guys like Laporta, I keep seeing. I mean, I understand it's only OTAs. They're only throwing the ball. They're not having really anybody cover them and all that, and it's all hype, stuff. But he just looks good in his cuts. He looks good when he's just running the ball and like catching it. He just honestly.
So the difference between Laporta and Pitts to you is just the quarterback?
No, it's the round.
Because isn't Pitts the much better talent, right? So you just don't like his situation as much because you were not as high on Pitts.
I wasn't high on Pitts.
Like you're high on Laporta coming out of, on the rookie tight end, all the stats right. You kept spewing out. No rookies do anything their first year, blah, blah, blah.
Well, no. I said rookies in the first round never do anything their first year. So it doesn't matter where they're drafted. They're always going to produce less than tight end 5. And that's what we've seen through history. The only other person I think the only person that's done it is Tony. But at the end of the day, I've just never really liked his situation, the quarterback, everything. Yes, I do like Laporta a little better because of the quarterback, because I think Jared Goff is a solid quarterback.
Bastard Donny.
Comparatively to
it's going to try to stack that Chicago backfield and get one of the starters there.
I tried doing that in one league. It doesn't work.
Damn it. All right, well, let me grab the QB8 and fantasy points per game, I guess, and the 12th. We'll do that.
Well, you already have Herbert, so why not?
Yeah. But and that's one QB. Got to fill out some of these rounds.
But the guys that go in the later rounds, guys in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th round that are in the NFL draft.
Come on. Sorry.
Yeah, why not?
I'm just in my own feels right now. Sorry, guys. Sorry.
No, you're good.
I didn't want to have to draft that.
I'm saying with the tight ends in those late rounds for the NFL, they actually produce and become better because they have less on them. When you have a guy that's drafted as the 5th overall pick, you're instilled as the next best thing, and you have so much weight on your shoulders. I mean, he went to Atlanta with at the time with Matt Ryan there. Matt Ryan was still a solid quarterback, and he did well with that particular quarterback. Having Mariota stunted his growth to be anything better than what he could be. So for me, Ritter isn't going to help that either. Mariota at least is a veteran and at least can work with him and do things to make it work. Ritter is still young and still trying to figure it out. Will he aim for the tight end most of the time? Yeah, but Pitts isn't built the way that you would use him.
Pitts as the wide receiver. Yeah.
That's my point. He's more built as the wide receiver deep and, on the corners and all that. You're not having him do the quick 5 out and, hit him on those. So, it is what it is. Yeah, when are we going to start doing that? I know that it's tough to get
boys. Those. Yeah, we're just because it's still kind of early. We haven't been doing like the grading on on Monday like we usually do, but we've kind of been doing a breakdown after the show. That's why normally our streams are like 2 hours long anyway, but we've been doing the grading afterwards. We're trying to keep it. I don't know exactly how much time Donnie has today, but whenever he has to go, he can go. But we will try to get to and break down at least the guys that are in here, on the stream. We'll try to break them down first and then go from there. So, but we'll start grading probably in a couple weeks here with that actual second episode and just dedicate an entire episode.
When Frank's
So it's usually Frank and I will do grades on Monday nights. So, and then it keeps Classic not from being up crazy late on Fridays either with these 2.5, 3 hour streams. So, but he kind of does it to himself, so I don't feel bad. I try to help reel him in every once in a while, but we like to talk. That's why we have a podcast, man. That's why we do this.
But to a point,
because we like hearing ourselves talk.
It was nice to be able to get Donnie on a little bit early so that we can have
I
this
appreciate
conversation nice and early so that I don't have to wait until 4 or 5 a.m. in the morning for me to actually have to do that. So, yeah,
appreciate it.
I am not doing those days again. I love you guys. I love being a part of it, but I am not staying up till 5 o'clock in the morning anymore.
Nah, we gotta reel it in. Ethan was just saying in that tight end talk to kind of round that out. Juwan Johnson, really nicely around tight end to target. Lots of volume up for grabs coming into the season without a ton of competition. And Johnson was solid last year. So yeah, I have him actually on our Get Right Dynasty team. He's there along with Schultes and Ingram and a couple other folks that I got there. I think I have a Granson share there. But speaking of which, I guess I'll throw a tight end question out there. I don't know why I'm bringing up the tight end conversation again, but one last thing. Jelani Woods. What are your guys' thoughts there? Because to me, he's a sleeper tight end and someone that you could just target in that last round. He's basically going undrafted. He's basically free. Freak of a specimen athletically. Yeah, so tell me about him.
Man, I don't know if I want much in that offense, passing wise. But in that tight end room, I mean, at one point we thought Granson was going to be it, right?
Which is why I have that share, like I said.
Exactly. So, Johnny Woods. I like the late. I wouldn't mind taking the end of the round, into the draft flyer. I mean, he's, like you said, a beast of a man. Throw it up to him. He's going to catch it. A rookie quarterback likes to throw to tight ends. I think you mentioned a little bit ago, and I like the talent and the spot with the quarterback right now. I don't know so much.
I don't know how he's going to do with Richardson there or Minshew, whoever you feel is going to be the starter. I think Mo Alley Cox is. I think Woods has a bright future, but I like Mo Alley Cox. I know that's odd. The guy's a giant. The guy is just.
I got big guys over there.
6'7", 253. 6'7", 253.
Is that Mo or is that Jelani?
Oh, that's Jelani.
Okay. Yeah, and that's they've always been just big. They have two really big tight ends that work well in this particular system, and hopefully they can continue. They're going to have to teach Richardson to kind of check down a little bit more to be a little bit more consistent with the ball because he had issues. But we'll see what happens with Richardson. I'm a little nervous about his particular progression of how well he'll do. I took him in the 102. And
I couldn't believe it. I was shocked.
I did it just because I know his upside and his ceiling is astronomical, but his floor is also pretty high too. So it just made it where I had little choice to go anywhere else. I didn't like I wanted Stroud to go to Carolina more than Bryce Young because I think Carolina has a better team for Stroud than the Texans do, but I think he'll do well at the Texans. So he's been beating out Davis Mills and everything. He's throwing for first team and all that. So, we'll definitely see how that goes. I like the Houston receivers. Like I like Nico Collins a lot, but a lot of people make fun of me for that.
I actually kind of like Nico a little bit, but the wide receiver one over there is one John Mechie. Don't forget.
No,
that's the dude.
Let's be fair. The number one receiver there is Bobby Woods right now. Your Bobby Trees is the number one.
Bobby Trees.
But at the end of the day,
if you don't have what do they say? If you don't have a wide receiver one, you don't have wide receivers. You don't have a wide receiver.
He's somebody. I don't know, man. I saw something last year that just put me on to Nico as being he's just a solid wide receiver 3. He's just a consistent option is more why I like him. We all know me in the context of what I look for. I like consistency. I don't like to go for the risk. If it's too high risk, I pretty much stay away. I just prefer going with the guys that are going to be consistent on my roster. Granted, you should have a little bit of both on your roster, but he had, what was it? His longest, he had a bunch of 20-yard or more catches. He had 11 of them over the year. He had 37 from 66 targets. I mean, I don't know. I like the options in Houston, as Ethan's trying to say.
Oh yeah, we both seen that. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, is it Mechie? Is it Woods? Collins, Schultz?
We
Brown?
all grabbed one.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
for classic, it's Collins. For me, it's Mechie. For Donnie, it's Tank. So pick your poison.
No,
We
and
can't wait to see how it plays out.
and I think that their line is actually pretty decent. It's not the best, but their defense is something that could be really special. It's a very underrated defense. They have one of the better defensive lines in the league that are very underrated, to be very honest. So for me, I feel like, I do feel like Stroud could do well, but I couldn't take him as my 101. I had a better feeling about Richardson. And I went, why not change it up a little bit?
There you go.
So we got Dame. What's going on, Dame? He goes, who would you pick at the 102, Gibbs or JSN? This is Dynasty League, 1 QB league.
I'm going to answer that like I answer almost every question. If you're contending and you need that running back, then you go Gibbs. If you're trying to kind of build and create a core, then especially if it's PPR, then I take my chances with the wide receiver just because they last longer. So if you're in contention, top 5 or higher projected team, then I'd probably take my chances with Gibbs. Otherwise, I'll probably go JSN for 6 or lower.
What about you, Donnie?
Dynasty startup. I'm going Gibbs. I mean, I'm a Seahawk diehard. I love JSN. My hand still hurts from clapping when we drafted him. But at 102, Dynasty startup, I'm taking Gibbs.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way. It's really based on format and a few other things. If you're at a 3 wide receiver type league,
I should have added that too. 3 wide.
If you're in a 3 wide and you need a receiver, I would lean JSN. But if you're good at wide receiver and everything's good, then I'm leaning Gibbs. He's a very talented running back. I have this problem in my dynasty league. Currently, I'm at the 102. I have the choice. I know that I'm going to have the choice between Gibbs and JSN. Unfortunately, the little twist in my league is that they cost $17 a piece because it's a salary cap league. So I have to either weigh the option of taking one of those particular guys or trying to trade out and find someone cheaper. I'm currently trying to trade out and get someone cheaper for 2 really good wide receivers that I like. Still trying to work that one out. For me, it would be Deontay Johnson and Dotson at this point, and I would be trading away the 102, the 102, the 202, and Darren Waller, who is $5. And yeah, how do you guys feel about that trade? I'm kind of curious.
On which one?
101 or 102, the 202, and then Darren Waller for $5 for Deontay Johnson. He's $5 and Dotson for $10. So it's $15 for both. And
I think I'd take the picks.
And you're giving up 102
and
I'm
the
giving up
202
102 and 202.
Yeah, I'd rather
and Waller. Yeah, I'll take the 102 and the 202 and Waller.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just because
I'm a little lower on both those guys myself too, so I might be a little.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm a Deontay fan, but based on what I saw last year, I mean, again, kind of following that Miles Sanders, there has to be some there's some regression to the mean there. But I mean, it's not all that great there in Pittsburgh, and I mean, we see what happens with Pickett, but I mean, I'd take my chances with the 102 and the 202. Because at 202, you get a nice receiver. Maybe Kincaid even falls to you. Maybe now more in a super flex. I don't think Kincaid would fall out of the first in a 1 QB.
Well, it's a 10 team too, so that makes it. Too. But either way, it's one of those things where I just don't want to pay $17 for, and then they increase 10% or it's either 10% or $1 every season. So next year they're 19 and then 21, and then they go up every year. So having them at that price is just so high. Oh my. He's like, I do have the 102, the 107, the 9, the 11, and the 12 would you take a tight end in the first? If so, Kincaid, Meyer, or Laporta? So no, I probably wouldn't take any of them in the first. You could probably get either Kincaid, or you can get Meyer or Mayer or Laporta in the second. I'd say mid-second round if you have a second round.
I'd use that 112 on Kincaid if he's still there.
I'd use the 109, 11, or 12 on Kincaid on.
So there you go. There you go, Dave.
Well, he lasted it. Laporta got to the 205 in our league, so
I like that. Yeah,
I got him for nothing. So, I all I'm trying to say is, and I fought for the 205 his roster.
Yeah, you did.
I didn't want to give up the 205 because I wanted Laporta.
It's okay. I got CMC out of that deal, so I'm happy.
Yeah, you did. And it wasn't from me.
Yeah, it worked. It worked itself out. Wilson saying, and again, thanks to Wilson. He's the one who helped us out, reaching out to Austin Eckler, man. So again, we appreciate you for putting Get Right Fantasy Network in Austin's ear, man. It was just so cool to see him say those 4 words out of his mouth, giving us a shout out. So again, we appreciate that. And he's saying thanks to everyone making this possible tonight. So great job. So again, thanks to all of our drafters in here. If you're in the chat, drop us a line. Whoever responds first, we'll go in that order, doing our team breakdown here. We'll try to get through it pretty quickly. About how much time you got, Donnie?
He's got
I need to leave probably about 8:35, so about 20 minutes.
About 20 minutes. All right. You just let me know. You'll have to stop us. As you can see, your first time on the stream with us. We just keep going once we get here. So don't worry. We'll keep going. But yeah, so if you guys are in the stream, drop a spot in the chat, and we'll get to your team first. So it looks like first person here is Brocal, drafting out of the 3 spot here. So let's take a look at his team. Classic, if you want to highlight it there on the screen. And I'll take the first one. Why not? Nice to be the boss every once in a while. No, I'm just kidding. So let's do it, man. So Brocal, shout out to Brocal. Appreciate you. And actually, Brocal is the one who actually made that introduction between Get Right Fantasy and the Whisperers. So this show wouldn't even be happening right now without Brocal. So, and he is one of our ambassadors. You can check him out. He's on our website under the ambassador section on getrightff.com, where you can get our rankings and stuff like that, all that good stuff there too. So in the 103, he goes Bijan Robinson. He gets Pacheco here down in the 7th with Gibson in the 8th and P. Ryan in the 9th. Skips around and then goes Algier in the 11th to round out his running back room. So not bad there. Kind of like a nice little hero RB build there. Then he goes Jalen Waddle, Higgins, Burks, Zay Jones, Michael Gallup, Josh Downs, and Rashee Rice to round it out in the 14th. Nice to see him drop a little bit there with these D-Hop rumors swirling around. So we'll see where he lands and how that pick could potentially turn out. So not a bad wide receiver room there. A little young and a little old kind of at the same time, but definitely like the top 2. It's only 2 wide receivers that we're starting here. So you don't have to be as deep. Then he goes Burrow here in the 4th. I think that's pretty good value at the 410.
Yeah.
I mean, we're seeing him go on underdog drafts,
well,
3rd round. Yeah, well before that, especially with those Jamar Chase stacks, you're lucky if he gets out of the 2nd or 3rd sometimes, because you usually get that team 2 or 3 taking him right there on the turn back. And then TJ Hawkinson here, is he pretty much like the de facto tight end 3 this year?
Yeah.
I think that's where a lot of folks have him, right? Yeah. So you got Hawkinson there that he got in the 5th. So overall, I'll turn it over to you, Donnie, since you're here first. What do you like about this team? Give me something you like and something. Well, yeah, you come from the roaster toast right now. What did we say we were going to do last time?
Right.
Something you got right and something you got wrong. So that's what
right. All right. Yeah. I think I like. I know we said Bijan went a little early, but I kind of like how he bookended his draft. I really like the Bijan pick in the 1st round. If you believe in him and you think he's going to be running back 1, take him at 3. Why not?
Get your guy, right?
You could choose McCaffrey at 3, and then McCaffrey gets hurt week 2, right?
Yeah.
And then Bijan kills it. So just if he's your guy, go for it. And then I'm really high on Rashee Rice. He was my favorite wide receiver in the draft in terms of playing big. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's only 6'1", 210 pounds if I recall. but he plays like the biggest wide receiver in this rookie class. And he went into the perfect spot to the goddamn Chiefs, getting a good player I like. Yeah. And so you don't know what's going to happen with those wide receivers. Tony's looking like a wide receiver 1. Hopkins could be here, but we have no money. I love Rice, and getting him at round 14 to just put a flyer on him. Those are my what he did rights for sure.
For sure, that lotto ticket, as we like to say here, get that scratcher at the end of the mock instead of some aging vet that you just know what his production is going to be. Wide receiver 6 on the year, not overall, but wide receiver 6 range. But go ahead. All right, so give me something he got wrong on this one.
Running back depth scares me a lot.
Mm-hmm.
After Robinson,
Pacheco, Gibson. If Bieniemy loves him, awesome. But Ryan, Boomer Sooner. I love P. Ryan. But who knows what his role is going to be. And then Algier is great, especially if Robinson gets injured for you. But like I said, those guys could go off too, but it scares me too much to not have a more true second running back on his roster.
Very nice. All right, Classic. Give me something he got right and something he got wrong.
I love the Burrow pick at 4. I should have went for Burrow at 4 or Josh Allen, one of the two. I wanted to wait on QB and see what I could build from there. But I definitely think that the Burrow pick I like a lot. The picks that honestly, I think he did really well all the way through to at least to Burks. Burks, I probably wouldn't have went with. I probably would have went with Dotson over Burks. But I understand the Burks pick. Honestly, he's the only guy there. They don't really have anybody else to throw to other than Chig. Yeah. But beyond that, I agree with Donnie in the context of the running back depth. I don't I'm not high on Pacheco. I'm high on P. Ryan, but he got him in a good spot. Algier should be fine. I just, the Pacheco and Gibson picks kind of just scare me a little bit more. Penny wouldn't do anything for me. It's a really rough spot to go with running backs at that spot. So it's tough.
There it is. Brocal.
Yeah.
I got your back. All right. I know you're going for a hero RB build in this one.
Yeah.
And this is a typical hero RB build. You take these flyer on these guys outside of the 6th round. You smash running back there for those next 3 picks. You're just kind of getting those guys if there's an injury in front of these guys. And then I think the thing he got right is that P. Ryan pick with this build. Yeah. To me, that's what could keep this roster together, give you maybe a week or 2 before they either fully unleash Javonte or maybe he's not even ready. So I really like that. And then especially, he did get that handcuff and kind of, really invested in that. I mean, he's not going to be a replacement, but at least you're in that same team. You got that guy. If he goes down, you have the next man up already on your bench as your RB5. So to me, I think you got the hero RB build right. Got the stack with Burrow and Higgins. And to me, I honestly, maybe Zay Jones is the only pick that I'm kind of about. I would have maybe just took a shot on something else, but again, he's so deep. I love Waddle, Higgins, Burks in a 2 wide receiver start, and then like you said, nailed the Rashee Rice pick there in the 14th, and probably one of my favorite teams. I mean, I'd probably give this in the B+ range here for me, even with Bijan going 3rd overall.
Yeah, I was gonna say Brocal and I have done many mocks right next to each other. So we know exactly how each other have drafted in the past. So I always love to see his teams.
Absolutely, man. He always does well with us here, man, for sure. All right, so let's get on to the next one here. We got Ethan in the house. New subscriber. I believe he was subscriber 613, I believe it was. So again, welcome to Get Right Here. I've been in a couple mocks with him, I think before, just through the Sleeper app. But nice to actually have him here on the stream and in the channel, and especially with what he was contributing in the chat, man. I just got to give you a shout out and hope you stick around here, man. Your contributions are fantastic. So, Classic, you want to read off his team there in the 6th spot?
Yeah, I got him. So Ethan went with Tyreek Hill in the 1st round, Christian Kirk later on, then goes Mike Williams, Kadarius Toney, goes Addison, and Wan'Dale Robinson. goes with Henry, Harris, and Sanders for running backs, as well as A.J. Dillon, Kendrick Miller, and Jerome Ford. Really good late sleeper guy that you should definitely start investing in if you haven't already. Also went with Daniel Jones in the 13th round and Dalton Schultz at the 10th round. So overall, I mean, I like the team. I like bits and pieces. Honestly, I like this.
This is a classic team.
This is a classic team. I can't. The only pick that I have to say that you got wrong,
the Tony pick, right?
The Tony pick, and it's we're not
bitter.
Gonna. It has nothing to do with the fact that he was on the Giants. I got firsthand look at him. Honestly, he has talent. He did well at the end of the season. But where was he used before that? Not at all, because he was sitting on the bench. And it's because he was hurt for most of the season. And he came back for 2 games and did well and didn't get hurt. Oh, wait, he did get hurt at one point in the game. He just didn't come back in. And he got what he needed before he went out. So for me, Tony is a very volatile type player. He can either get you 30 points or none. And that's
he'll either win you a week or cost you a week because you started him and he got you a 0 or went out before he did anything.
So for me, he's feeling like what Gabe Davis was to a lot of people last year, where he was very high. Yeah, and I was the one banging the table. Honestly,
we were all big Gabe Davis fans over here.
Oh yeah, we gave away Gabe Davis jerseys. So I mean, it's one of those things where I was a huge fan of Gabe Davis last season, but Tony feels like Gabe Davis to me in the context that a lot of people are going to draft him a little high, and he's not going to be used the way that he wants. They have tons of receivers on that team. Same. Justin Ross is there. They have Rice, who we talked about before. You know, they still have MVS there. They still have a bunch of guys that can play well. Travis Kelce is, of course, the target hog in that group. So it's one of those things where Tony, to me, is just, I wouldn't say a waste of a pick, but unless I'm getting like Tony in the last round, I don't really want him. It's just that, you know, who cares?
It is what it is.
My favorite pick is
what do you get right?
I like the Jerome Ford pick. I mean, everything else looks good to me. I like Anthony said, this is my build that I normally go with. But I like Jerome Ford as a really good late round depth piece. I mean, he's the number 2 in Cleveland right now, and no one's talking about him, and he's pretty much going for free. So
Chubb's not getting 100% of the carries. I'll tell you that.
Well, no, they can't do that to him. I think Chubb is a very good back, but unfortunately, they just and hey, I was the one hating Kareem Hunt because I'd see him in when Chubb should be in.
Lenny, that's where I think Lenny's going to sign. That's where I think Lenny's going to sign. To me, he's the perfect back to go there.
I hope not. Otherwise, I really do like this team. I like Henry, even though he's on the decline. But in redraft, he's still a valuable asset to have. I think Harris will be a little bit more used. I love Miles Sanders this year in Carolina. I think that will be good. Dillon is just a good handcuff to have. Miller,
I'm going to stop you there, Classic. We're not doing full every pick. Whatever. It's just one thing he got right, one thing he got wrong, man. We're going to be here till 4 a.m. Like you said. I'm just trying to help you, brother. I'm trying to help you.
I do like
we could take it offline all day. You know, you and I, we could chat all day.
All day.
All day. It doesn't stop.
All right,
we
keep
going.
Donnie.
Go ahead, Donnie. Something he got right, something he got wrong. Go ahead.
I think I'm going with man. What year in the last 5 years were you pissed off that you got Tyreek Hill and Derrick Henry on your team?
Right? Yeah.
I mean, everyone.
I have both on my Dynasty team.
Everyone's like Henry's gonna fall off, but it hasn't happened.
No,
he's a beast.
Yeah,
he's gonna get the ball in the end zone, even on that horrible offense. Whoever's gonna be their quarterback.
Yeah,
he's scoring for you. And then Tyreek Hill's playing 3 more years. He said, and he's gonna have 3 great years. I think.
Yeah, so for sure.
I want them both on my roster, so that's the thing I think I did right.
Well done.
I do want to say caveat. AJ Dillon, I think, is in a contract year.
He might be.
So I always like getting running backs later in contract years. So I think that was a good pickup where he got him as well.
I like that.
What I don't like, I like this team pretty much.
I really do like
I think team. Maybe the Tony pick also that early. I'm right there with you. And then waiting on Schultz as your tight end. All these I'm gonna nitpick. I mean, I think we all have good drafters in here, but those are the two I don't like the most. Is the Tony pick and then Schultz. Where he got them.
Okay.
Nice. I won't spend too much time on it because I think it's pretty much a build we all like. He's right in the middle, grabbing really good guys. Nice build. So I'll just say he pretty much just nailed the construction on this team versus picking out one specific pick or something like that.
Yeah.
And then honestly, like you said, it's splitting hairs trying to find any problem. I mean, I don't mind taking the Tony shot because you're just trying to figure out who's going to be, that guy. And again, in a 2 wide receiver league there in Kansas City. So I honestly can't find really any fault with this team. Maybe just waited a little long for a quarterback. So maybe if you replace that Tony pick with, Dak or, maybe even Tua. I mean, I got Tua way down here in the 12th, but I wouldn't hate a Tua, in the 7th.
I would have taken JSN, Cooks, or Juju over that.
Yeah, if you had JSN and Addison instead of Tony and Addison,
yeah,
a little better there too. Yeah, just because of the unknown, right? So there it is.
He goes devil's advocate. He was traded midseason, and he'll have a full season or a full off season with the playbook. I don't love him either, but he's definitely a home run. Yeah, no, I agree with that. I do agree with that particular, what he said. It makes sense, but I see him like a very volatile type player. Calvin,
awesome.
Good old bro Cal going. Looking forward to that 24-hour.
So are we.
Marathon. Yeah. So are we.
Hopefully I can get some food this time.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You were there the whole time, weren't you?
I was. I think
you can sleep when you die. You'll sleep when you die, Donnie. You'll sleep when you die.
I will. That's right.
No reason to get that all hurried up now. All right, so let's go to Ambassador Extraordinaire, Mr. Wilson, 27 here, drafting out of the 7th spot. You want to read this one off, Donnie?
Sure,
give you a shot. All right, go ahead, man.
So he went with Jonathan Taylor in the 1st round, and to finish his running backs, he went my guy Tony Pollard, Damian Pierce, and Raheem Mostert. So only 4 running backs, but a few good ones. Then for wide receivers, we got Deebo Samuel, Keenan Allen, Marquise Brown, Jacoby Myers on the Las Vegas Raiders now, Darnell Mooney, and DJ Chark on the Panthers now. We'll see how those pan out. Let's see. His quarterback, he went with Dak Prescott in the spot where we talked about how maybe if the team right before him got it, might have a better draft grade from us. And then for tight end, Pat Fairmouth, and ending it out with Gerald Everett. Beta Gerald Everett, I should say.
Right? I keep forgetting he's still there.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting.
He was like what, like a 7th, 8th round pick sometimes last year. Like he started to climb up the draft boards.
Yeah.
But yeah, so since you started off, Donnie, give me something you like about this one and something you got wrong.
Oh man, he got a couple of my favorite guys to draft. I love Pollard. Pollard has saved my life in a 20-man dynasty league. I traded Slim Pickens for 2 years ago. I traded Tutu Atwell and a 3rd for Tony Pollard, and I had no other
hindsight.
So
wow.
So I have a pure love for Tony Pollard.
I traded him away. I was very upset. Traded him away for Chubb though. I traded Madison and Pollard for Chubb.
Ooh.
Yeah. Were you in a win now? I mean that.
I was winning. Yeah, I was.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
And then, man, I want to say, gotta love my Geno Smith pick to match with the Prescott. My boy Geno Smith, most accurate quarterback in the league last year.
Yes.
A little biased, but late pick to match with Prescott. Why not? Yeah. What I don't like, I don't really like Keenan Allen anymore in the 4th round.
Okay.
Just like old, gets injured a lot. He's hurt me so much in fantasy football the last few years with his injuries. So
I could hear that in your voice, Donnie.
Yeah, like the love I have for Pollard is counteracted by the hate I have for Allen. Yeah.
And by hate, we mean just not like as much.
Football.
Oh my God.
Not doing well for me.
Hey, he's on Eckler's team. We got to make sure it doesn't, go in the locker room.
Love him as a person.
There we go.
Hate him on my fantasy team.
I liked him. I liked him on Hard Knocks. He was funny on that.
Yeah.
That's funny. Very nice. All right, go ahead, Classic. Give me one thing you like and one thing you don't like.
Yeah, I know. The one thing that I liked about it, I did like the Geno pick. I would have liked it a lot more if he didn't go with Prescott first and just waited with Geno. I think that would have made it a little bit better for me, but I do like the Geno pick late. Pick that I don't like. For redraft, Marquise Brown is scaring the living shit out of me because I don't know what's going to happen in Arizona and who they're going to go with and when Murray's going to be back. When Murray's back, he'll be fine, but there's so many different possibilities that at that particular pick, I'd rather go with Lockett. I'd rather go with Dotson. I'd rather go with anybody else in that pick where I could be a little bit more comfortable with knowing what's going to happen because it's attached to a quote unquote bet. Well, see, no, they're not better quarterbacks, but they're just, I don't know. That's the hard part about those particular.
Yeah, what is Kyler Murray these days?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Kyler Murray more than likely is not playing this season. They have Tune and Colt McCoy as their two quarterbacks. They let go of like two other guys, McSorley and someone else. So I'm kind of fading a lot of the Cardinals this year. I think the only Cardinal I'm on is Connor because he's going to get volume and volume is king. So that's about it. That's the only reason why I don't like that pick. I'm kind of fading Brown, even though he would get volume as well. It's not quality volume, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Now, what do you get right?
Let me cut you off real fast. I do got to head out. I love you guys. Thank you so much for having me. It was fun. It was so fun, and let's do it again for sure. And I could be here till 4 a.m. with you guys too if I didn't have other plans.
No worries, man. Brother. Yeah, we'll definitely keep in touch, and we'll get you back on here.
Oh yeah,
for sure, man. Appreciate your time. Thanks for coming on, brother.
Appreciate you guys.
Make sure you guys go drop him a follow. His contacts in the description.
Yeah, drop everything and do that, and make sure you guys check out the Whisperers.
Yes. Yeah. Have a good one, guys.
Later.
Awesome, man. Thanks, Donnie. Rid of me too. You got rid of me too.
Damn. I was trying to get him, and then
double clicked on me. All right, it's all good. So what do you get right on this one? I was going to try to get you to get the get right in there, and then I was going to close it out. But it's okay. Go ahead.
No, I did get right first. I got Geno first, and then I did Brown.
Oh, it was the Geno and then Brown. Okay, cool. So I'll go there. I'm surprised you guys didn't hit the elephant in the room with Deebo being his wide receiver 1. To me, I'm a little skeptical on that. Obviously, with CMC being in there, now obviously everybody coming back healthy with Kittle, everything like that. When they're all healthy, he still commanded a pretty good target share there, but I am just worried on what we know as a football player and as a fan, and just in football, it's good, but in fantasy, like, what kind of player are we getting? I don't know with his profile if I can have someone like that as my wide receiver 1. I'd much rather have him as my wide receiver 3. But those days I think are over because of his blow up season. So that's just me. On something he got wrong, so to speak, I just would have maybe either went for another running back like ETN or even Aaron Jones there, versus Deebo, and then seeing, he probably wouldn't have made it back, but
he would have been incredibly weak at wide receiver at that point.
Oh, absolutely. But that's the risk you run when you go to running backs in the first 2 rounds. So, So again, I don't hate it. Again, sometimes your hand's forced. Obviously, Olave would have been great. I'd rather have Olave there than Samuel. And I probably even would have taken Amari Cooper over Samuel. And you guys all know I haven't been the greatest Cooper fan, but when I just sit back and take the name off the jersey and, again, he comes from the Raiders originally, so there was all that cloudiness that was in my judgment system for a while, but the numbers
he did that well with Carr.
Exactly. So, yeah, and again, he was even last year with Brissett and a shell of Deshaun Watson still finished as the in PPR wide receiver 10 overall. So I'd much rather have that, 132 targets, 78 catches, almost 1,200 yards, 9 touchdowns. I'd much rather have that than Deebo as my wide receiver 1. So, so that's all I'm going to hate on you there. Maybe he was trying to pick Deebo to earn favor with my Niners, but unfortunately you missed on that one, Wilson. And a pick that he got wrong to me, or that was my wrong, the Samuel. And what he got right, is just, those 2 running backs out of the gate, Taylor and Pollard. I probably would have I have Jacobs and then Barkley ahead of Taylor. ranked this year. But I just, as far as the build, getting those 2 running backs, obviously it's kind of what I did, as well as Dim Boys in this draft too. And we were the only 3 people to grab 2 running backs in the first 2 rounds. So we'll leave it at that. Appreciate you, Wilson. Who was next? Drunk Squidward?
Yes, sir.
All right. So Drunk Squidward, man, he's drafting here out of the 9th spot. He goes Cooper Kupp, CeeDee Lamb, Michael Pittman, Jamison Williams, Rondale Moore, and Romeo Doubs as his wide receiver room. Without quite looking at all the rest of these rooms, I would assume that's probably at the top.
One of the more potent, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Kupp, Lamb as far as the top 2.
I mean, beyond
yeah, it's kind of close there. Diggs, Cooper, yeah. I mean, that's given a little run for its money, but
hey, man,
you can argue that even he's still ahead of you just because of Kupp's potential alone. But that's neither here nor there. Yeah. His running back room looks like Etienne, Swift, Kamara here in the 7th, and then gets A-Chain down here in the 10th. Runs with 4 running backs there. His quarterbacks, he gets Josh Allen in the 4th, which is pretty late on quarterbacks here. So you could tell it's a little more competitive draft, letting those quarterbacks fall a little bit. And then he grabs Jared Goff down here in the 14th. Somehow Goff lasted down there. So nice quarterback room. And then his tight ends round out with Darren Waller here in the 8th. And then Laporta, who we talked about a lot there during the stream, where I guess we're still technically streaming, but during the mock in the 12th. So Mike, give me something you like about this team and that he got right, and give me something that he got wrong.
So what he got right is, I mean, pretty much his wide receiver, quarterback, and tight end group, I thought was spectacular. Every pick except for Rondale Moore and J-Mo, I'm not a big fan of. I think he did really well with those picks in general. I might not be a fan of him, but where he got them worked out. I think where he got it quote unquote wrong is I think the running backs that he went with are a little bit hard to go with. ETN is a great pick, and getting him that late in the 3rd is actually quite good. But after that, Swift, I'm just not on that train yet. I understand the hype. The Kamara pick, I'm pretty much fading Kamara until further notice. HN, I mean, I know the hype. I get it. We'll see. But other than that, he
has 2 running backs he has to get ahead of who know that system, and it might take a minute.
Everything. Yeah. So
and they're fast.
There's a lot of uncertainty there. Now, granted, it's full PPR, so I do like that part of it for these guys. So I don't hate it. It's just these guys scare the living crap out of me.
A little volatile.
Yeah, a little volatile. But I love the QB picks, of course. I should have went with Allen at the 402. That was my mistake.
You're bad. Yeah, instead you picked a guy who might not even play on the team, but that's neither here nor there. We'll get there when we get there. All right, so my got right, something you got right on this one is that E.T. and Allen, 3rd and 4th round. I think he nailed that after securing those Kupp and Lamb picks there. And then, just something he got wrong is I'm fading Kamara. I can't take him in the 7th with what we know now. Could have went a bunch of different ways there. Maybe take a shot on, Addison, maybe take, shot on JSN, get a lotto ticket instead of someone that is most likely going to serve at least a 6-game suspension. That's half of your fantasy year. You play 14 weeks. I just can't get behind drafting somebody in the 7th round. That's a lot of draft capital for someone who might miss 6 games, and then let alone get hurt in the other 6 games. So he might even play less games for you, overall being at that running back position. So I'd like to, if I am going to get Kamara, I like to get him later, maybe double digits rounds or later is when I would take that shot if he's still there. If not, I'll let him be somebody else's problem. So other than that, I think it was a pretty decent build there. Squidward, you've been with us here for a while, so you know what we like. And I think you executed well in that. So, yep. So we'll move on. Appreciate you for coming out, man. This is only my 2nd mock with Drunk Squidward, so it was nice to get him in here. Yeah. we did just a for fun mock in the sleeper channel. I posted a link in there just for a random mock draft for fun, and he jumped in there. So that was our first time drafting together. So, and he's been on almost every stream with us since he found us. So, yeah, so it was cool to get him in a mock. All right, so let's move on here. Who was next? Oh, no, in the NFL tomorrow with face of light suspension. Yeah,
we'll see.
We'll see. I mean, when there's video, man, that's where it's tough. If any kind of video comes out, yeah, and he beat that dude, yeah,
the shit out of him.
It's tough, man. So you're just hoping time goes by and everybody kind of forgets, but it'll come up and make its round again.
Yes,
all right. So who else did we get? Is that all that was in the?
All that was in the chat.
That was in the chat. So
Spitzmo.
Yes, absolutely. So we'll go to Spitzmo here in the fourth spot. Because I'm sure I'll probably watch it afterwards. Looks like he's still on.
Yeah, he's still on somewhere.
Probably in another mock somewhere. He did say thanks for hosting in our chat. So hopefully you're catching this later. Again, since he's new, he might not know we do the breakdowns right after.
And boys, but yeah, you're next. You watch the whole show. You're fine.
Oh yeah, we know he's good. I figured he came back, and then we'll come in and out. You got the kids and all that going. We'll get you next. All right. So Spitzmo, man, he goes at the 4-smart chase, which somehow lasted to the 4, which is nice. So you feel like you got some value there, even if it's only a pick or two. Then he goes Garrett Wilson, which of course a lot of people are high on here with the Rodgers pairing. Goes Olave, so just bangs out 3 wide receivers, even though it's only a 2 wide receiver league. Gets that out of the way. Grabs another receiver down here in the 9th. So he waits a good chunk of time there, grabs Gabe Davis in the 9th, Sky Moore in the 11th, Michael Thomas in the 12th. And then as far as running backs go, he grabs his first running back in the 4th with J.K. Dobbins. Then he goes James Conner in the 5th, David Montgomery in the 6th, followed by Damian Harris in the 10th, and then finishes with Michael Carter as his Mr. Irrelevant in the 14th. And then quarterback room, he grabs T-Law in the 7th. I think that's pretty good value there.
Yeah.
And gets that nice stack with Evan Ingram there in the 8th. And then gets his backup tight end with Tyler Higbee here in the 13th. So tell me something Spitzmo got right and maybe something he got wrong here.
So based on the build, I mean, he was definitely going more of a modified 0 RB in the context of for a 2 wide receiver type build and 1 QB. So honestly, I like the J.K. Dobbins pick for him in this particular spot. I understand this is this is Ross's least favorite with the running backs because this is the running back dead zone for him. So for me, I do like J.K. Dobbins as being my number 1 there. I think I can be satisfied with that particular, with Dobbins being my RB1. Pick that he got wrong. I mean, I didn't really not like a pick on this team. I like a lot of what he did here. As Brokow said, his wide receiver room's good. Michael Thomas going in the 12th round is I mean, it's definitely necessary, but at the end of the day, we're still unsure how that's going to go. But to get something wrong in this group, I don't know. There's nothing that I could get that is wrong to me, to me, Sky Moore, I don't like Sky Moore as much as other people, just because that team has so many weapons that, there's so many cooks in the kitchen. But I just, for me, Sky Moore, if I got to pick somebody, Sky Moore.
Okay, fair.
Yeah.
And I don't hate it as much just because, of course, with the wide receiver room, only 2 wide receivers, he's probably never going to see the lineup unless there's a catastrophe anyway.
I'm just throwing one out that, he's not a guy that I would normally draft, but it's not anybody that I would, hate a team for,
Oh, yeah. No, that's I just got to give you a little rub it anyway, too.
This team. Yeah, no, I like the I mean, my favorite pick out of it was the Trevor Lawrence and Ingram picks. Like, those were my 2 favorites. But the Dobbins pick, I got to give him a lot of credit for.
Nice. So for me, something he got right, just hammering those stud wide receivers right out of the gate, and then following up by grabbing all the quarterback or the running back dead zone running backs. To me, it's funny because wide receivers being pushed up so high this year, you might actually hear me changing my tune a little bit on that running back dead zone. Because the wide receivers are being pushed up, we're actually seeing those running backs that were going in round 2 or 3 that you can kind of do a hero RB build on. We're seeing those guys fall late. We talked about it. Derrick Henry going at 2.7. You got Najee Harris, who's a bona fide 3-down back. Granted, his last year wasn't great, but just this type of profile running back usually doesn't last to the 3.6. I mean, you even got Miles Sanders and Ken Walker here going at the 4.7, 4.5. Again, Jahmyr Gibbs, who they're in PPR, we're expecting to go big here in the 4. So I think that zone has opened up a little bit, and there are some running backs there that we can potentially trust. If you get those high-end wide receivers locked in first, it will make up that point difference to me. So yeah, it really is almost like a wide receiver dead zone this year because we're taking those high-end wide receivers in those spots that we were taking those running backs. So now it's kind of flipped this year. So again, you got to be able to read the mocks or read your drafts. So that's why you want to get it here in mock. So you can kind of see what the trends and how things are going with the ADPs and things like that. Especially for the more casual folks, because they're just going to come in and draft off that the ADP list that's there. So it's knowing, what platform you're on and which guys are valued or not valued, is in where their ADPs are. So you can get those value picks in there. So anyway, one thing I think he got wrong on this. I really can't. I mean, the only thing is just that Connor pick. I mean, if I had to really nitpick things, I don't mind taking a running back there. But just Connor specifically, yeah. I mean, give me Pierce. I'll even take a chance with Swift and his upside there. Same thing, Rashad White. As of now, the backfield's his. Even Cam Akers is kind of sneakily. I'm starting to like him as well, just with lack of competition there and how he finished out the year being a workhorse. So, again, just those are guys I'd rather take a chance on a little younger than, Connor and, part of a little bit better offenses, especially Swift and, I guess really just Swift is the only one part of a better offense. But again, these are the guys you're getting in the 5th and 6th round, which is why normally we're avoiding this dead zone. So, well done, Spitzmo. Again, appreciate you subscribing to the channel, man, and welcome. Hope you had a good time. And hope we see you in the mock tourney and future mocks with us here. So appreciate the support, man. So who we got next? Dim Boys? I guess we'll do Dim Boys.
Yeah, he's here.
All right, man. Go ahead. Read it off.
So we'll got
try to get out of here before 2 hours.
We'll try to get there. We got Barkley and Chubb to start us off in the first 2 rounds. Then he goes with Devin Singletary a little bit later in the 9th, Jeff Wilson in the 12th. Then he goes DJ Moore, DeAndre Hopkins, Deontay Johnson, Brandon Cooks, Rashad Bateman, and Nico Collins for his wide receiver room, Justin Fields and Aaron Rodgers for his quarterbacks, and Kyle Pitts and Taysom Hill for his particular tight ends. So
nice.
Yeah.
So something I think Dim Boys got right is the build. I mean, basically he and I through basically round 10 basically drafted the same team. I mean, he went Kyle Pitts. 7. Well, no, Kyle Pitts, but he's still a pass catcher, so we both still went pass catcher in the 7th round. And that's why I'm saying kinda, Mike. So I'm just saying kinda.
I get it.
But yeah, so we kind of had pretty much the same kind of build, and then that's where I took my tight end, was there in the 11th versus the 7th, and that's where he's taken his wide receiver there in Collins. And then we basically almost kind of finish it out the same with another quarterback there and so on and so forth. I don't take 2 tight ends. Obviously, I'm not big on tight ends. But as far as something he got right is just the construction. I mean, I really like the construction. Locking in those 2 workhorse running backs, followed by the 3 best, available wide receivers you can get. I know he's big on Hopkins and enjoys that talent. I'm just personally, if I'm drafting a real draft today, there's no way I'm taking Hopkins at the 4. Whatever without knowing what the team or the situation is, because that is going to make a big difference. I mean, other than that, I mean, I don't love Moore as your wide receiver 1, but again, when you have Barkley and Chubb, so again, just kind of nitpicking, some things there. Same thing I said about Wilson with Samuel. I'd much rather have Amari Cooper, and I know he's big on Cooper, so I'm surprised he didn't go with him there. But yeah, I mean, just to me, something he got wrong is just taking Pitts in the 7th. I mean, that's good value for Pitts. He was going in the 3rd last year.
Yeah.
So to kind of take a chance, but again, like I said, if you didn't get one of those top guys, I'm kind of punting anyway. So the only tight end I would take kind of in the mid rounds would be Ingram. And that's even a little shaky now with Ridley in the mix. So we'll see. We'll see.
I disagree, but I understand what you mean. I'm very high on Ingram. A lot of reasons.
Yeah, but if he has me throwing to him, you wouldn't be so happy.
Well, no, I think
even though he is the wide receiver one, but
see, I think that's.
I mean, I get what he's saying.
He's played with crap quarterbacks and he's done well, so I think that's why.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just like the Moore pick more than I do the Hopkins pick. I'm just saying, if I'm drafting today, I can't draft somebody that's not even on a team, and that's why I'm not drafting Mixon, Cook, Kamara, like Javonte, Brees. I just got to see these guys. I'm not, if I'm drafting best ball right now, I'm not really taking chances on those kind of guys right now, unless I can get crazy value. So anyway,
understood.
All right. So what do you get right? What do you get wrong?
See, this is harder for me for get right or get wrong. I mean, he definitely got the build right. I think what he did and how he built the team was really good. There were a couple picks that I would have probably done differently. He sniped me at too many occasions with my wide receivers. Got my Deontay Johnson, who I really like and I'm really high on. Got Nico Collins as well. A couple guys that I'm really high on. He also, went with Devin Singletary late. He got a lot of good value with his picks. That's one thing I really liked about it. I also like the fact that he got the Justin Fields more stack. Now, like I said, I'm not really big on Justin Fields at all. I don't see what other people do. So honestly, what he got right, and this is such a rare thing for me to say, the Kyle Pitts pick I thought was actually a pick that he got right. He got him late. He got value. No, but he got value for it. He didn't draft him as a tight end 3. He drafted him as the tight end, 5, 6? That's a better value. I'd rather get him at that value than at
7th round versus 3rd round. Yeah.
Exactly. So I'm fine. Like I like Pitts at value. I don't like him otherwise, but that's not bad. Like for this particular build, it's the only thing good I can say with it, other than, of course, like I like the wide receiver room for the most part and the running backs. So, that's all I can really say about it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously it's the Fields rushing upside. Obviously, in 4-point per passing touchdowns, he's a little better.
Based on format and all that.
But yeah, I mean, like you said, though, it's kind of tough to. Can you rely on that rushing again? Probably, because dude's a freak athlete when it comes to that.
No.
I mean, I doubt he's going to get almost 1,200 yards again, but he'll be close.
No, but that's even more the point. He has to put up that much because he only threw for 1,800 yards last year. So if he only he only threw for 1,800. I think it was 1,870 last year. And if you're only throwing for that many yards, you have to rush for that many to be a top 10 guy. So for me,
no, last year he had 2242 as his rookie year.
22? Are you sure?
1870. Unless this is projections for this year, but we're not in 2022. We're in 2023, right? So yeah, he threw for 2242 last year, 17 touchdowns, 11 picks.
Okay.
And that's where he had the 1,600 or 160 carries for 1,143 yards and 8 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah. So either way, but that's not sustainable. And he would have to throw for more anyway, just to level it out where he doesn't have to run as much. And that's even more my point. He has to gain a better median ground type thing where he has to get anywhere.
Not to be fantasy relevant, maybe to be real NFL relevant, but he finished as a QB7 last year. I mean,
but no,
you can't argue with that.
No, I get that.
So even if he has 5 spots to drop to still be a QB1 in a 12-team league, I'm just saying, like, I don't think he's.
Ooh,
yeah.
I
don't think he's throwing. Oh, go ahead. I saw that too.
I'll take you up on it because
gentlemen's bet. We don't get crazy here. It's just a gentleman's bet. Gentleman's bet. And then Dim Boys, I think, has like a kiss in the chicken bet on Fields. Like, there's a lot going. He's always betting on Fields. So, and he said he's at the top. Dim boys, I tried to calm him down here for you. I tried to talk him into it a little bit. So it's like even if he regresses a little bit, so he drops from QB7 to what? QB10?
No, he'll be outside 12.
I said if he drops a little bit.
No, I get it. He's dropping a lot of bit.
You just think he's dropping. You just think he's just completely worse now than he was last year at QB7.
I don't think he's going to.
You just think it was a complete fluke now that he has DJ Moore and he has weapons, and
I just
you just think the line is improved.
No, it hasn't. Who did they improve with?
No, I just meant being a year more together, and they actually started doing pretty well. Their pass blocking was still terrible, but
yeah, they grabbed a guard. But at the end of the day, he's nothing special. Like, he didn't show me anything special to make me want to go, oh my God, I really love Justin Fields. Yeah, he ran for 1,100 yards. But at the end of the day, no, but at the end of the day, that's not sustainable for fantasy. He's gonna regress down to at least 700 yards, or 800 yards, and that's great. But he then has to throw for over 4,000 to be anything worth. I'm
going to end it on this. I'll end it on this. You sound exactly like all of us sounded last year with Jalen Hurts. And I'm just saying it can happen. You can get that improvement. How? We were saying the exact same things.
He didn't run for 1,000.
We were saying the exact same things. It doesn't matter what he ran for. It was, can he make the improvement as a passer? We said the same thing about Lamar. We said the same thing about Hurts. They made the improvement, and they're top guys. He's won an MVP.
He was 32.
He ran an MVP.
Among 32 quarterbacks in completion percentage last year.
He had no weapons with nobody.
Daniel
with
Jones
a tight end. He did all that with nobody. And he ran for 800 yards too. So is that sustainable? Yeah, is that sustainable? Oh, because he ran for 800, it's sustainable. But Justin Fields, who's
800 is more
3 times the athlete that Justin Fields is not. Get out of here with that classic. Get out of here with that. No way. Get out of here with that. Get out of here with that. All right, who's the next team? I can't take this anymore.
5th overall in completion percentage with no wide receivers. I don't want to hear it. That's my whole point. 5th overall, and this guy was 32. If you think he's going to improve with one wide receiver change, you're out of your fucking mind. I'm sorry. It's not happening.
And I think you're out of your mind not to think someone who just ran for 1,200 yards and that's all they're doing is trying to stop his run, and he still ran for 1,200 yards. That's all teams were doing. Defensive coordinators knew he could not throw the ball, and they could not stop him. They can't stop him.
I'm sorry.
There's no. They can't stop him.
My mind on it. I don't like Fields.
Unreal.
The Fields hate.
Them boys, back me up here.
Back
me up here.
He has all the QBs to run for 700 yards in the last 10 years. Only 2 have finished outside the top 12 in fantasy, and one of those was Danny.
Boom. Silence him. Mic drop. All right, let's go. Well done, Den boys.
I was saying that he had a better completion percentage with crappier wide receivers than
Chase Claypool and Darnell Mooney.
Mooney is very good. Mooney is the exception to the rule. Mooney is actually a very talented, very well. We're way off track
on this, but yeah, I like it though. It's good. But just for our sake, we're only 1 minute away from 2 hours now. We have a couple more teams to go. So we haven't done Donnie's, we did Brokehouse, Spitzwell. Do we do RJ's yet? Let's go to RJ's 105.
Yep. Already lit up.
Perfect. So we'll try to get through this fairly quickly here. We'll try to be quick. Hopefully there's nobody here that gets us going on one of those again. But that was fun. That's why we're here. Christian McCaffrey, he gets at the 105. Pretty good value there.
Very good value.
Really good value there. Alexander Madison, so he goes with the hero RB build, grabs Madison in the 7th, so avoided that dead zone. I like that. Grabs Robinson, who Donnie and I were both kind of eyeballing in this round 8 as well. Yeah. Then he gets Jerick McKinnon, who I think everyone's kind of sleeping on. This guy was like a running back 1 for the back half. Yeah, usually you can get him a little later, but I think that's about where he should be going, honestly.
Agreed. Compared
to the rest of the running backs there. To me, I would almost feel more comfortable drafting him over Pacheco in full PPR. Then we have Jalen Warren here in the 13th. Again, I'm still not seeing what's all going on there because, again, Pittsburgh has always been a one running back backfield. So, Warren
was useful.
Yeah, depending on how you define useful.
True.
Depending on how you define useful. But I mean, he's 5'8", 215 pounds. I mean, it's just, I don't know if that's sustainable since that's our word of the day.
True.
Yeah, he only had 33 targets, 28 catches, 212 yards, no touchdowns. It's not very good passing.
But
77 carries.
When Harris was out, so he's actually a decent handcuff for that. For the 13th pick overall, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I'm not going to hit on him. All right, so those are his running back rooms. Goes into the wide receiver rooms with Devontae Adams, who he gets at the 2-8.
Yeah.
So well done there, RJ. We're all sleeping there on the 2-8. Then he goes Mahomes in third, grabs Ridley. I'm sorry, I'm going in order now. Let me go with just wide receivers. Ridley in the fourth, McLaurin in the fifth, and Lockett in the sixth. And then finishes it off with Thielen in the 11th, Pierce in the 12th, and Shaheed in the 14th.
Yep.
And then grabs Mahomes as the QB1 off the board in the third, which is great value as well. So something I think RJ got right here is these Adams Mahomes pick, and then you preface that with McCaffrey already. That's a pretty nice team. Hopefully Garoppolo can be semi-decent with Adams. And we've seen him produce a wide receiver one, but it was a lot of rushing that was involved with Debo. And yeah, so that's to me something he got right. Something he got wrong. I mean, really kind of nothing. I mean, I really like this team. I like pretty much all of these players, where he got them.
Yeah.
I mean, if Cook does eventually get cut or traded or whatever, I think Madison, no way you're going to get him in the 7th. He's going to go closer to the fourth and fifth round, if not a little sooner, just because of the hype. Yeah, and then it might calm down actually before your actual draft start. But as soon as that, I was going to say, as soon as that news breaks, he's going to be like a first round pick. And then so I can't really say too much as far as got wrong here. Maybe instead of taking a guy like Thielen here, if I had to really nitpick in the 11th, to me, this is where I like to take their shot on like a rookie that has some, high end potential versus a guy, that we kind of know, what's going to kind of happen. So,
Mingo Hyatt,
older vet. Yeah. So like a Mingo or a Rashee Rice or, Josh Downs or, someone with just some potential there. Even DJ Chark, just I know he's a little more hurt. Same team, just I think there's a little more downfield potential for him there. So what do you think? Something he got right?
Getting right. I mean, he got the value for everything.
Overall value. I like it.
He has value everywhere in this particular mock. So for me, I mean, McCaffrey at the 105, Adams, at the 2-8, even with Ridley as your wide receiver 2 and McLaurin, your wide receiver room is potent. Even your running back room is good. I like a lot of it. I think the only thing that you got wrong, we kind of discussed it when Anthony was breaking the team down, was the McKinnon pick. And it's really just because you grabbed him a little early. I would have waited. I would have picked anybody else, and then if he was available later, I might have got him. I don't hate the Thielen pick, actually, contrary to what Ross has said. I like.
We need contradictory here.
Well, that's how we do things.
That's what we do, yeah.
But I'm just, for me, Thielen is more for that team is going to be the possession receiver. And for full PPR, I do think Thielen has the ability to do very well. I understand your point on going for someone like Chark comparatively, just because of the downfield and all that. But for me, I want to know my guy is getting 7 targets for, 7 to 10 targets for, a maximum of 90 yards or whatever per game. And for me, Thielen can do that, and he's done it in the past. So for me, I definitely like the Thielen pick more than the others in that case. But the McKinnon pick, I probably would have went a different direction and waited to see if he got to the Warren, type pick and go there, because he's going undrafted in a lot of
right.
So might as well. Why pick him so early? You can get him later.
Lean into it. Absolutely. Know that ADP. But again, at the same time, get your guy. If you think that's the guy, get your guy.
And that late, it's like we said, we're nitpicking a little bit. So
because we have to.
A horrible pick.
Yeah, just we have to, guys. We're trying to come up with something we don't like. All right, so who we got next here? Jeezy. All right, so this Frankenstein of a team. What's up, Jeezy? If you're watching here or catching on the flip side. But yeah, so he goes Kelsey at the 108, follows it up with Andrews, grabs the top 2 tight ends in the first 2 picks. Then he grabs the, QB1, QB2. Someone can argue here in the third. Followed by Ken Walker's first RB at the 4-5, grabs a third tight end at the 5-8, rounds it out with Akers, Williams, and that's Jamal Williams with New Orleans in the 7th, and then grabs Roshan Johnson, who I really like here at the 11, and then doesn't take his first wide receiver in this huge wide receiver, year, so to speak, the year of the wide receiver, Juju. As his wide receiver 1, gets Lazard, Elijah Moore. Considering he didn't take a freaking wide receiver until the 8th round, it's actually not bad for 2 wide receivers. I mean, it's really I've seen worse people that have taken them, up higher. So not too bad. You can make the argument there, I guess. Then follows it up with Beckham, Peoples-Jones, and Mechie, who you heard me talking about. Thinking I think he can emerge as the wide receiver 1. So to me, obviously, I'm just going to hit the elephant in the room. No need to hit 3 tight ends and maybe if this was tight end super premium or something, you can grab 3 of them. But if you want to be the tight end whisperer, I guess you can, and maybe you just trade out those guys to get to the tight end needy teams, and maybe you can get some guys that maybe you couldn't grab at that spot, but because you have that tight end. You can fill in and get that wide receiver 1. So, with that said, that's something I think he got wrong. And then something he got right is considering he did do this, didn't, like we were saying, didn't really finish out with that terrible of a wide receiver core, considering he is so stacked at the other positions. And again, it is 2 flex, so he would be able to start Kelsey and Andrews. So, and then has Kittle on the bench. So it's really not, that. I mean, it looks a lot worse than it kind of really is when you really sit back and think about it. So I think he had a purpose. I think he was trying out a strategy here. I think he executed it pretty well, if that's what he was going for. And even if he didn't make trades, I think it's still again, all things considered, a pretty decent overall team, unless his wide receivers just completely, poop out. But yeah, I mean, Kelsey's basically his wide receiver 1 and Andrews is his tight end. So it's not really.
Yeah,
just kind of put on a different set of glasses. So tell me something you think he got right here and something he got wrong.
Yeah, I mean, what he got right for me, I mean, you got Jalen Hurts in the 3rd, in a good spot. I mean, that's the one thing, and he was able to keep a pretty decent running back room considering his bully tight end plus the QB in the 3rd round. Getting Ken Walker at the 4-9 or the 4-5. And then getting Akers later on in the 6th. I mean, like we said, I probably would have done something a little different at the Kittle pick. So for me, the Kittle pick is the what he got wrong here. I would have probably went with somebody in the realm of Deontay Johnson or Mike Evans or just someone other than Kittle at that point. But I understand that makes sense, like you said, with the tight end being the wide receiver, technically. But then it would have made the Juju Lazard more, it would have made everything after that a little bit better. But his wide receiver depth is very good. Like I like those guys for this season.
Yeah. Everyone but Beckham. I just want to add that to my.
No,
I'm not a big Beckham fan. I got to see it. 2 ACLs.
No, I agree.
Older, run first offense.
My only nitpick that I would say is having the 2 Cleveland wide receivers. I think Cleveland's going to be very good this season at wide receiver, pick one or the other. If you get the value of Peoples-Jones, I think Peoples-Jones in the 13th is a little bit better than Moore in the 10th. But I'm not going to hate you for either one if you have them. I think Moore is going to do very well this season.
And then you just drop whichever one's not the guy, and you just play the wire from there. So I understand the thought process. Yeah.
So
very nice.
Yeah, let's go to Ungats.
Uno Gas. I don't know how you say it exactly, but I see different things every time I
see Ungats. That's how I see it.
Or Ogas. So Ogas. All right, man. So I've been direct messaging with this guy on Sleeper 2. Got invited to a mock, I believe, through Gus Bus. Is where I met him. So of course got him involved here with the channel. So appreciate him coming out. Hopefully he's still listening here, or maybe he'll come back to it. But oh no, he's in the chat. He's in our chat. Come into
Ross said it right.
Well, which one? I said like 5 different things, so spell it phonetically in there. But he's in this chat. But yeah, man, come over to the YouTube chat, man. Throw the chat in there. Uno Gas, when I said Uno Gas, maybe that was it.
Yeah.
Uno Gas. But yeah. So anyway, we got AJ Brown coming at the 112, followed by Amon-Ra St. Brown. So he gets the Brown brothers on the turn.
See, I helped him out there. He wrote in the chat that he wanted AJ Brown there, or St. Brown there, so I switched it up. He picked Pollard at that point on accident. So
I didn't even see that while I was going down.
Yeah, he was lucky I caught it.
Well done, Commissioner.
I changed it just for that. Yeah.
Well done. So you're a nice guy.
Well, he's lucky it was my pick and I wasn't aiming for any of those guys. So.
Right. You got lucky. He's like, "Oh, you want Brown? Yeah, you can have it. I was trying to get Diggs anyway." Yeah, should have grabbed Diggs anyway. But yeah, so he gets the Brown brothers here on the turn, followed by Aaron Jones and Gibbs as his 2 running backs. So gets his running backs, receivers out of the way. Gets his first flex here in Godwin, and then followed by Rashad White. I don't like the double Tampa Bay stack there, but we'll get into that here shortly. Goes Goddard here in the 7th as his tight end. Goes JSN here, Jackson Smith, Nick Jigba here in the 8th. And then he grabs Deshaun Watson as his QB1 here in the 9th, followed by his running back 4 and Elijah Mitchell in the 10th. Jonathan Mingo. It's Jonathan, right?
Yeah.
Jonathan Mingo, right? Okay.
Yep.
I was, you think it is, and then you say it. You haven't really said it too many times yet, so like you just want to make sure I'm not being an idiot over here. But yeah, Jonathan Mingo here at the 11th, followed by his QB2 and Anthony Richardson, followed by who is this? Tajay Spears. And
then
I don't know about that pick. Yeah, in the 13th, and then Juwan Johnson, who we were talking about during the mock there on the 14th. So something I like about this, love the turn with the Brown brothers here. Really like that starting wide receiver group, and really like getting Aaron Jones here at the 3-12 as your RB1. Really like Aaron Jones. I just think there's such a path for him to be to have production, to be good, to be useful, especially as a 3rd round pick. I think he'll definitely deliver on that capital. Followed by Gibbs, which could go either way. We'll see how he turns out. We've been saying the same thing for all the Detroit running backs that they've drafted, thinking they're going to be the best from what was his name? Javid Best?
Are you thinking of Javid Best and Keyshawn or Kerryon Johnson?
Kerryon Johnson, yeah. So is he just another one of those? DeAndre Swift, is he just another one here with Gibbs? And I think, you remember me saying they have that meme of the Detroit running backs and the Spider-Man meme all pointing at each other. So that's kind of what I think of now when I see Gibbs, but he definitely profiles as the guy. So hopefully they got it right this time. I definitely want to see him play football. So that's what I like, that top 4. And then the thing I think he just got wrong here is these Tampa Bay investment here. I don't mind the White pick. The Godwin pick is the one I'm a little more about, but I hate that he grabbed both of them together.
Godwin too.
And I do like Godwin, and I think actually he'll be the one who's more productive over Mike Evans, who you grabbed here a couple picks later. Just because I don't think Baker's accuracy downfield, and that's what Evans does, is he goes downfield. And we saw what happened when Brady, who's been pretty accurate downfield, couldn't connect with him. We were all trying to get him off our team last year. But I think Godwin in the slot will, help Baker, and I think he'll still see a path to targets. I just don't like that he got both of them because it's not really a projected offense that's going to score a lot. So that's just the one thing I think he got wrong. Other than that, I think he drafted pretty well. I like, he did what we talked about, grabbing these rookies here late in the 11th, 12th, 13th with Mingo, Richardson, and Spears to see what happens. Better that, to me, I'd rather grab guys like that, than Adam Thielen, Odell Beckham. I'd rather take chances on these guys to see what they are. And the reason I like it most is because if they don't pan out, they're easy to cut to get on a waiver wire. Sometimes people get in a situation where you don't want to cut an Adam Thielen because he'll be decent for you or somebody else, so you don't really want to put that person on the wire. But at the same time, he's not going to win you. He's not a league winner. To me, if you're not first, you're last, right? So I'm not playing for second place. So that's why I don't like people like Adam Thielen on my fantasy team. And again, nothing against Adam Thielen. We hope you come on to get right. We'd love to talk to you, but I'm just saying.
Understood.
I don't want any of these sound bites to get out,
No, you're good.
But all right. Tell me something he got right, got wrong.
Honestly, it's the same things that you said, to be very fair. I mean, there wasn't much that I hated. I like the players that are involved. The AJ Brown and Ahmad St. Brown at the turn is great, with the Jones and Gibbs on the way back is just, really good. I do agree with you with the Tampa Bay stack, or, the two Tampa Bay players. Not a big fan of, that offense as a whole, but I think the White pick was definitely better than the Godwin pick. But otherwise, I like the Watson pick. I like the Goddard pick. I like a lot of picks in this team overall. So I really like this team.
Perfect. Yeah. All right. Well done, Uno Gas. And he said it in the
he did.
He said it in the chat. It is Uno Gas. So like one gas.
Yeah.
I like it. All right. So is that it? We don't need to go through our teams here, but we got everybody else's, right?
Let's go conflicts. Let's go.
Oh, why not? Because we're already at like 2 hours and 20 minutes, man. That's why.
Fine. I liked my team this time.
Of course you do. You're going to draft the same exact team next week. So we'll do it again next week.
I'm going to change it up next
Guarantee you have at least 4 people the same in the next draft.
Maybe.
I'm just saying.
We'll see. We'll see.
Just messing with you, man. All right.
You're
so I know. We'll get it. If you guys want us to go over our teams, you guys can see our teams. We talked about our picks kind of as we were going anyway, and our thought process behind it. But you guys know, man, if you guys ever want to ask us any questions, what we're thinking, why we like this guy versus that guy, just hit us up, man. You can find both myself and Classic on Twitter. It's in the description, or you can just get us right there, as you see on the screen, at Get Right Fantasy on Twitter. So you guys can get a hold of us there. Send us direct message. Doesn't cost anything. It's free. We're pure degenerates, so we will talk to you probably more than you even want. So you'll probably have to block us after that if that's the case. But we love talking football, man, all day, all night. So definitely come in. Yeah, he's definitely gonna have cookies for sure. Because nobody else is drafting him.
I'll have James Cook. Probably, maybe
not. He'll have both of them. Yeah. Love James Cook. Yeah. So yeah, man. So again, just want to reiterate, we're doing that mock draft tournament. The Get Right Fantasy mock draft of Tournament of Champions. Jeez Louise. It's a mouthful. I might have to put some acronyms or something in there. But yeah, man. So make sure you guys are staying in tune with us for that. Again, might have some big news come next Friday. Have a meeting on Tuesday with a potential sponsor for that tournament. So the prize might get upped or be a little different than what we've seen before. So I'm excited. We'll see if it happens. So make sure you do that. Again, special thanks to our sponsors, TrophySmack.com to get your trophies, your belts, your chains, whatever it is to take your league to the next level. Have something else to play for besides a little prize pool. It's always nice to get in there and have some of those other things, because those last forever. Money will get spent. Your wife will take it, girlfriend, whatever. But that ring, that championship, that belt is yours and yours only. So make sure you guys check them out. Use that promo code GetRight. And then, of course, our sponsors, UnderdogFantasy.com. Make sure you guys go sign up there. Do a deposit match up to $100 and get in there. Get in that Best Ball Mania, man. $15 million in prize pools. They just have the Puppy 2 that launched, I believe, yesterday. And I think that's $150,000 in total prize pool for only a $5 entry. Best Ball Mania is a $25 entry, so just play responsibly. And there's serious guys in there, man. So if you guys want to get in, that's why we do these mocks.
I was just gonna say we might want to do one week.
I wanted to do it here, but we're doing the grades after and all that kind of stuff. We're already at 2:30, so
maybe no. Oh, I'm not saying right now. I'm saying
maybe over the weekend. Yeah,
one of these weeks that we can try to get as many people together as we can to do a best ball draft and do what we did last
see what
year.
happens. Yeah, or we might just maybe we'll just stream like a Best Ball Mania one night for the Friday night mock and just do best ball draft mania. We'll drop in one. Yeah. So we'll figure it out, man. We got a lot to come. It's still early, man. We just flipped the page on June. Kind of redraft season doesn't even really start till after 4th of July. So we're getting it in early, man. We're rolling up those sleeves here at Get Right for you guys, doing the research, bringing it to you guys, and more importantly, hopefully we're having fun here in the community. So again, other than that, man, just we don't want to be the best kept secret. So go tell your friends, man. Tell some league mates, maybe those guys that need a little more help in your league to make it a little more competitive, a little more fun. Bring them here in the community. Have them draft with us, mock with us here, so they can get better, and it'll in turn make you better. So you can get into some leagues with us, like the Listener League, which will be giving away entries. And the best way to get an entry to the Listener League drawing is to invite somebody and get them to subscribe to the mock, man. You guys have somebody, send them a screenshot that they subscribed. Let me know, both you, the person that subscribed, and the person that referred them, you'll both get an entry into the drawing. So rack them up, man. The more you do, the more chances you have to get in our Listener League, and there is a $50 prize, no buy-in. It's free. So I think I got all the reads in there, man.
I think you did.
So we could keep the lights on over here. Help us out. We want to get that quest to 1,000, guys. Quest to 1,000. We're over 600 right now. I think about 614, 615, something like that. So keep helping us grow, man. So we appreciate it. Again, for Frank, for Dustin, I'll turn it over to you, Classic. You got anything else to take us out here, man? Take us home.
I'm just happy that we got through another mock and can't wait till next week to give you guys another one and get you guys, on course for the season itself. So
absolutely. All right, man. So like I said, for myself, for Classic, for Frank, for Dustin, we're all here for you, man. For all of us here at Get Right, just keep those sleeves rolled up, man. Other than that, we're out. See you next Friday. Peace.